Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Konoha, Homemade Eye Technique Plugin. Chapter 81. Ahem, should we listen to this handsome guy's self-introduction next? In order to ease the embarrassment, Jiraiya had to change the topic a little abruptly, so that everyone could focus on Uchiha who was about to appear. On Nanhi. Seeing this, Uchiha Minagawa also stopped thinking about Kabuto Yakushi telling his situation honestly, and began to introduce himself with a little meaning. My name is Uchiha Nenga. I like many things. I hate those who practice self-interest under the guise of righteousness and dream of world peace. Uchiha Nenga's words instantly silenced the three of them, and the atmosphere that had just been raised by Hinata-tama and Jiraiya instantly fell into a dull mood. Kabuto Yakushi thought of Danzo Shimura's unscrupulous face, clearly motivated by his own ambitions, but under the guise of righteousness, he persecuted the orphanage and its director Yakushi no. World peace is really a great ideal. If the world was truly peaceful, the dean and everyone would be able to live happily together as before. Quote, Hinata, you also thought of the disgusting face of the Zong family who stuck to the old rules and enslaved the family members to work for them under the guise of protecting their blood successors. If the world is peaceful and the Zong family doesn't have these high-sounding excuses, then maybe other people can stop caring about the separation between the family and the village and get involved in this system that goes against human ethics. The one who felt the most profound was the optimistic Jiraiya. World peace was also his dream, and it was for this dream that he embarked on a journey to find the child of destiny. During this period, he lost the opportunity to pursue love, win back his friends, and save his disciples. In the end, he even paid the price with his life, thinking about redeeming his past mistakes and practicing his tolerance. Now that he heard Uchiha Nenga express his wish for peace in the shinobi world, Jiraiya was also in a daze, as if he had seen his former disciple Nagato, secretly congratulating himself on his determination to return to the village this time and completely clearing the village of darkness. Although he has been escaping from the darkness in the village, he also knows the reasons for the darkness. People's hearts are really strange. They were so ambitious before, but now they are greedy for power and unwilling to give up the interests in their hands. Teacher, you are really wrong. It's time to step back. Uchiha clan, I do feel a difference when I come back this time. Let me see how you measure up. If you are really not just acting on a whim to win the position of Hokage, it would not be a bad idea to recommend you to be Hokage. Quote, Jiraiya and the others secretly returned to the village the day before yesterday. Even though the Konoha barrier had been invaded several times and had not changed, the three of them had easily avoided everyone. The two settled Shizune at Tsunade's house, and after instructing each other to avoid exposing her whereabouts as much as possible, they used the transformation technique to go out to drink and experience Konoha now, and at the same time, they also prepared to observe the Uchiha clan. It was also during this period that Jiraiya and Tsunade did feel the changes in Uchiha. Although the people in the village felt that such Uchiha was a bit strange, they both saw Uchiha's determination to seek change. After eating and drinking, Tsunade said she didn't want to see the hypocritical face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, so she went home alone. Of course, now that she had made up her mind to come back with Jiraiya, it also meant that she had the courage to look forward, so she took the initiative to overcome her hemophobia on the way back. So far, she has gained the strength to stand in the face of blood. In the following time, she only needs to get used to it before she can use chakra normally. This is also time for Jiraiya and the third generation. Tsunade's goal in returning to the village this time was not as gentle as Jiraiya's. What Jiraiya wanted to do was to try his best to persuade Hiruzen Sarutobi and the two advisors to step aside and transfer some of the family's interests to share with the village. There are many talented ninjas and families among them. If they still can't see the situation clearly and still hold on to their power and interests, then Jiraiya will contact his former subordinates and try to persuade more ninjas and families through them to let them make a difference between Uchiha and Sarutobi Hiruzen. In times of conflict, choose to sit on the sidelines. This is also Jiraiya's style of acting. Being able to stand by and watch and get rid of his teacher with the help of others is the limit of his morality. But Tsunade didn't have so many worries. Under the guidance of the Senju family and her two grandfathers, she had the kind of Senju Hashirama she had at a very young age. When necessary, she would give up her personal feelings for the village and kill those closest to her, human consciousness. Therefore, even if it was her own teacher, Tsunade, who had made up her mind, had no idea of shying away from anything. It's just that neither she nor Jiraiya wants to be Hokage, and currently the only people in the village who have the ability to intimidate other villages are the Uchiha clan. However, the two people who came from the Senju clan were more or less biased against the Uchiha clan. Therefore, Tsunade had to give the Uchiha clan some time to investigate. At the same time, it was also the last moment of the master-disciple relationship. Account. After that, Jiraiya came to Sarutobi Hiruzen's home to wait for him to return. When he saw the teacher who had white hair, wrinkles all over his body, and was much shorter and thinner, Jiraiya also felt a little sad silently. "Ha, it's Jiraiya. Are you finally willing to go back to the village to visit me, an old man?" Looking at Jiraiya's slightly red eyes, Sarutobi Hiruzen let down his guard and said with a slight teasing. "Yes, old man, it's been a long time since I last saw you. You've become like this." Jiraiya immediately regained his composure and responded with a hint of meaning. "Haha, my body is still strong, but I probably won't be able to hold on much longer, so I called you back to take over." "Where is Tsunade? Didn't she go back to the village with you?" Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't hear Jiraiya's words. The deep meaning is that the disciple just thinks that the disciple cares about himself as the teacher. After all, in Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart, Jiraiya's emotional character has been completely understood. As everyone knows, it is Jiraiya's emotional character that wants to drag him down from the position of Hokage. Haha, the old man is joking. Shouldn't the Hokage be elected by everyone in the village through a vote of confidence? My unreliable character is not suitable for being the Hokage. Jiraiya avoided Tsunade, and Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't find any clues about it, and he didn't care at all about Jiraiya's statement that the Hokage needed a vote of confidence. After all, he was responsible for the election of the fourth Hokage, which made the then unknown Namikaze Minato quickly become famous and defeated his disciple Orochimaru, who had shined in two great shinobi wars. Therefore, a vote of confidence or something like that is just a formality for Sarutobi Hiruzen, a longtime Hokage. Don't worry, with your achievements and strength, you are fully qualified to be Hokage. In addition, as my disciple, I will support you. My old bones can last for a few more years. During this period, I can assist you in the office. Take care of things." When Jiraiya heard what the other party said, he immediately thought of the scene when his disciple was the Hokage, also under the guise of assisting. Although all the government orders were issued in the name of the fourth Hokage, they were actually issued by him. This was issued due to the intervention of the third Hokage. Furthermore, because the other party was not familiar with Hokage's responsibilities, he was unable to mobilize Anbu and many ninjas. Haha, is it still the same thing? Even if you face your own disciples, you are not willing to give up and treat them as pawns. The more Jiraiya thought about it, the more chilled he felt. Looking at this face that was obviously very familiar, it had become so unfamiliar now, without any of the kindness he had when he taught the three of them. No wonder after he and Tsunade left, Orochimaru finally defected. Faced with such a power-hungry teacher, Jiraiya also made up his mind at this time, ready to let go of the idea of leaving the last dignity to the teacher, and asked directly and solemnly without any hesitation. "Teacher, haven't you noticed yet? What did you find?" Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, thinking that Jiraiya didn't want to be Hokage. "You have begun to distance yourself from the major families in Konoha. Konoha is getting weaker and weaker," Jiraiya said sadly. "What, the major families? Ahem, Jiraiya, who did you listen to? I'm the Hokage, how can I break away from them? It's too late for them to support me. As for Konoha getting weaker and weaker, I also know this, so I am also actively cultivating the next generation, like Kakashi, Metkai, you. They are all extremely outstanding juniors, and they will surely be the top in the future. The sky lifts the leaves and becomes a strong support for the new shoots. Coupled with the leadership of you or Tsunade as Hokage, Konoha will naturally get better and better." Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen was not embarrassed at all. For him, the major families in the village were unstable factors. They often had their own ideas and sometimes asked him, the Hokage, for this and that for the benefit of the family. It's just that in order to get their support, Konoha also needs them to charge forward. They are not as fierce as Uchiha, so they just let it go. But even if they are dissatisfied, as long as he is still the Hokage and holds the righteousness, they will still listen to themselves as the Hokage. Naturally, Jiraiya's worries are unnecessary. Oh, old man, what you want to say is Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi, right? Those are indeed outstanding Konoha juniors. Not only did they activate the Mangekyo Sharingan at a young age, they are powerful, but they also follow your lead. He is capable of such things as killing members of his own family. Of course they are excellent juniors, but such excellent juniors have been killed by you, causing them to deviate. After the root of the matter is exposed, apart from the diehards who have been brainwashed by you, how many people can really do it? To be driven by you as you wish. What's more, there is an Uchiha clan who is taking the lead in opposing you. Quote, Jiraiya has completely left no escape route for his teacher, directly exposing the fact that he is now a strong man on the outside. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also shocked and looked at this disciple with some strangeness, who was no longer under his control. How do you know these things? Didn't you just come back? That was just the provocation of the restless Uchiha. As long as the Uchiha clan is eliminated, everything will get back on track. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped pretending to be a kind mentor and directly stated his plan with a firm face. Ha 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 ha, Hokage-sama, don't you know you were wrong now? Konoha is really very weak. Just imagine, without the Uchiha clan, would Konoha still be able to withstand any war? What's more, with the power that Konoha currently possesses, can it really destroy the Uchiha clan? So what if the Uchiha clan is wiped out? Do you think it's up to you, the Sarutobi clan, to take over? Can you really withstand the pressure brought by the other 4 major ninja villages? Then why did you hand over Hinata Hazashi? Quote, open your eyes and see how many Konoha heroes have met a miserable end because of your struggle for power over the years. Don't you think about whether you have made any mistakes? Are you still clinging to power? Is it possible that one of Tsunade and I will become the Hokage? Are you still prepared to be like the 4th Hokage? You have to read and nod all government orders and hold on to the Anbu power in your hands. Those of us, what does a disciple mean to you? A tool to destroy Uchiha. Be your puppet spokesperson. Quote. At this moment, Jiraiya completely exploded. Even after talking about it, the teacher was still struggling with how he knew the truth of the matter. Is this because he doesn't want to let himself know that it's better to just be a puppet at his mercy? He also wanted to eliminate the Uchiha clan without any lower limit, and did not put the safety of the village first. The Hokage no longer had the responsibilities that a Hokage should have. Therefore, Jiraiya stopped calling each other teacher and directly called him Hokage, hoping that the alienation and severe situation would completely wake him up. When Sarutobi Hiruzen heard Jiraiya's loud shout, his face became extremely ugly, and he understood that Jiraiya and Tsunade would probably not side with him as a teacher this time. The best outcome would be to stand by and watch, and the worst possible outcome would be to directly attack his teacher. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately realized the seriousness of the matter. Although as Hokage, you can take a share of the credit of your subordinates, this is all for those who are unaware. It is naturally impossible for those who participated in the credit incident not to know the truth. As it happened, during the 2 great ninja wars between Jiraiya and Tsunade, one of them served as the battlefield commander and had many subordinates. Naturally, there were many people who were willing to believe in him knowing his achievements. The other one took the lead on the battlefield and made countless achievements. At the same time, more people were treated by her medical ninjutsu thanks to her grace. Coupled with the other person's identity as the granddaughter of the 1st and 2nd generation Hokage, his influence is even greater. Therefore, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to fall out with them directly even as the Hokage. I should have killed the other party's sister directly from the beginning. Once she died, Jiraiya's vain reputation would naturally not be able to cause any trouble. Originally, I thought that since she was a woman, her teacher and the Hokage, and if she died as the last member of the Senju family, it would have a greater negative impact on me, so I softened my heart and let her go. I really regret not listening to what Danzo said. Quote, now it seems that Tsunade has returned to the village. She didn't come to see me this time, and her attitude has been very clear. I can't deal with Uchiha for the time being, and I can't deal with you, a person who is alone and has a fatal weakness. Don't blame me, Tsunade, the teacher is also trying to protect himself. Who told you that your appeal is too strong? Quote. After Shimura Danzo's death, Sarutobi Hiruzen lost his useful white gloves. Now he has to deal with these disgraceful things by himself. The environment affects people, and today's Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughts are becoming more and more dark and extreme. Now, knowing the attitudes of Tsunade and Jiraiya, and their strong influence in the village, Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to strike first. It's okay for Jiraiya, after all, he is not like Tsunade. Tsunade not only has an unusual background, many families will recognize her as the last bloodline of the Senju clan, but she has indeed saved many people's lives. A village is involved in each other, naturally it will have a huge impact. And Jiraiya is only a battlefield commander. Once the war is over, his identity will naturally no longer be able to command everyone. There is no one behind him to support him. His character often only chooses to escape. In addition, he loves the village and the country. As for the character of his companion, Hiruzen Sarutobi believed that as a teacher, he had many ways to manipulate him. Therefore, Sarutobi Hiruzen came up with the idea of killing Tsunade first and completely eating up the remaining legacy of the Senju clan. Moreover, as a medical master, Tsunade's fighting ability is not as good as that of a ninja who specializes in fighting. She also suffers from hemophobia. Now even she, the Hokage, doesn't know that she has returned to the village. Naturally, others don't know either. Now is the time to solve it. The other party's best opportunity. At that time, as long as the opponent is afraid of blood, the battle can be ended quickly. No one except Jiraiya will know about it. And with Jiraiya's character, for the stability of the village, the opponent can only acquiesce, or even directly driven by oneself. But this idea was killed in Jiraiya's next words. Sarutobi Hiruzen had to take a long-term approach and make excuses with Jiraiya. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen not replying, but still thinking deeply about something with an ugly expression, Jiraiya thought that the other person had a heart of repentance, and did not want to push too hard. After all, he was still the Hokage and his teacher. Therefore, Jiraiya's tone was no longer so harsh, leaving the other party time to think alone. Old man, it's time to choose to let go. Tsunade and I came back this time because we want to bring the village back to life. I hope you won't be a roadblock in the way of the village's strength. By the way, let me tell you some good news. After Tsunade made up her mind, she is now free from hemophobia, and the village has gained a top fighter. As long as we work together, I believe the village will get better and better. Think about it carefully. Quote. What? Tsunade has overcome hemophobia, Hiruzen Sarutobi exclaimed, interrupting Jiraiya's attempt to leave. Seeing the look of surprise on the other person's face that didn't seem to be fake, Jiraiya thought that the other person was so shocked when he heard the news because he had been looking forward to Tsunade's recovery for a long time, so he didn't doubt it too much. Yes, so, old man, this is the last hope for Konoha to continue to grow stronger. You must take care of me. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw that Jiraiya was so sure and knew that the other party could not lie about this matter, so he immediately put on a look of relief. Really? Then I can really let go of the burden of the village and leave it to you. So who among you will be the Hokage? Nowadays, the Uchiha clan is particularly restless, and they are bent on seeking the position of Hokage. They even killed all the ninjas in the whole family before. No matter what mistake Danzo Shimura made, they could just deal with him alone, but they killed all the root ninjas. Those were also ninjas in our village. Quote. I can also help you buy some time before solving the Uchiha problem. You should make a decision quickly. Haha, since you have decided to lead the village, I, as your teacher, will naturally support you. Now I don't think about it so much. I go home to teach my newly born grandson. It can be regarded as the fourth Hokage to have a good death. Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen's sincere speech, coupled with the other person's suggestion that the Uchiha clan did have some problems, Jiraiya did not doubt him and believed that the other party had really let go of everything. Therefore, Jiraiya also told Tsunade the plan that he and Tsunade had discussed. Ah, you don't have to worry about this. Tsunade and I have a perfect solution. What we need most now is to inspect the Uchiha clan first. If they really have the ability to be Hokage, there is nothing wrong with recommending them to be Hokage. Whoever becomes Hokage doesn't do it anyway. As long as they sit on the position of Hokage, they will naturally not be like before, and they will definitely consider the village. In this way, they not only resolve their dissatisfaction with the village, but also allow them to completely return to their hearts and truly contribute to the village. Why not? Quote, hearing that Jiraiya and the others actually wanted to elect a member of the Uchiha clan to become Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen was instantly shocked and wanted to speak out against it. However, this move was extinguished in an instant. Anyway, he would not really give up the power and interests he had obtained now. Killing Tsunade and enslaving Jiraiya was already a determined matter, and there was no need to object now to arouse their vigilance. Therefore, Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have really seen through everything and nodded in agreement with Jiraiya's proposal. It's true, we old guys really can't keep up with the times. Your method is very good. It can be regarded as solving the problems that have arisen in the village since its establishment. So let's do what you said first. Oh, by the way, you should pay special attention to a ninja school student named Uchiha Nenga. He will graduate in 2 days and join the ninja team. The reason why Uchiha's operation was successful this time was because of his variable. He opened the Mangekyo Sharingan at a young age. Not only that, he also possessed the extremely difficult Space Eye technique. This is what I call the reason for your return. Quote, in addition, at the request of the Uchiha clan and the Hyuga clan, I put him and a daughter of the Hyuga clan into the same team. In order to prevent the two families from having any plots, I also arranged for a root ninja who had just returned to the village to monitor them. This is the information of their team. Quote, after reminding Jiraiya about the news about Uchiha Minami, Sarutobi Hiruzen handed over their information to him. Jiraiya took the information of the 3 people, and after checking it carefully, he was also shocked that such a young Uchiha boy not only possessed great strength, but also had an extremely mature mind. He seemed to be a person who had achieved great things, and he was instantly interested. A very interesting boy, let's start with him. What? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know what he meant. What does, start with him, mean? Does Jiraiya want to take action against Uchiha Nenga? What I mean is that I want to be their leader and personally use him as a breakthrough point to inspect the Uchiha clan. Time returned to the present, and Jiraiya quickly pulled away from his memories, clapped his hands, and said to the 3 of them. Okay, a very interesting self-introduction, that's it for today. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, we will gather at the 3rd training ground. At that time, I will check your current level before arranging your next tasks. So, disband. Quote, just when everyone was about to leave, Jiraiya called out to Uchiha Nenga again. Well, Uchiha Nanhi stays for a while. I have some things that I need to explain to you. Hyugatama and Yakushi Kabuto looked at Uchiha Nanhi strangely. The 3 of them greeted each other and left. Uchiha Nanhi also looked at Jiraiya helplessly. Jiraiya-sensei, now you can tell me why you kept me. They are all gone. Jiraiya came back from contemplating how to organize his words and looked at Uchiha Nenga solemnly. So, Nanhi-kun, how do you view your family in the village? Ah, do leaders like to ask questions like this? How do you feel about the company these days? What do you think of the company? Uchiha Minami cursed in his heart, but replied seriously. A village, it is a collection of countless families. It can be regarded as a big family. As for families, they are also a collection of countless families, but this relationship connected by blood is closer and more trustworthy than that of a village. What you want to ask is the view between the family and the village, right? Quote. Jiraiya was slightly disappointed. From Uchiha Nenga's words, it was not difficult to hear that he trusted his family more than the village. Yes, if you have to choose a sacrifice between the village and your family, how would you choose? Uchiha Nenga looked at Jiraiya speechlessly, as if the other party had asked an idiot question. This made Jiraiya feel a little uncomfortable, thinking, am I asking the wrong question? Isn't that what everyone asks? Single quote. Uchiha Nenga didn't give in, and directly pointed out the relationship between the 2. Teacher Jiraiya, you must first understand that the family is a small family and the village is everyone. The village's duty is to protect many families. If it is really necessary to use the family to exchange for the peace of the village, then the village still needs to exist. The village is originally composed of many families, and its meaning is that many families work together to gain more power than a single family, thereby protecting these families. Every family is a member of the village, and they also have responsibilities and obligations to contribute to the survival and strength of the village. Therefore, the village is not a village of one person, but a village of everyone who makes up this large collective. Similarly, the village also has the obligation to be fair and just and protect the safety and prosperity of the families and individuals that make up the village before it is destroyed. Therefore, the two are not separate and independent, but should rise and fall together. When the family is strong, the village will naturally be strong, and when the village is strong, it will naturally ensure that the family is strong. This is nothing more than complementing each other. Quote, "The village is everyone's village. The two are not independent of each other, but should complement each other and rise and fall as one." This insight directly shattered Jiraiya's original three views, and he realized from a new perspective that the village and the family are inseparable relationship. Originally under the influence of Hiruzen Sarutobi, Jiraiya was like the first Hokage, believing that the village was a harbor to protect the seedlings. The village was everything, and there was nothing wrong with sacrificing personal interests for the sake of the village. As long as the village can continue and become stronger and stronger, so-called families and individuals can choose to sacrifice and be sacrificed. Now through Uchiha Nenga's explanation, Jiraiya discovered that the true relationship between the village and the family should be like this, and the truth is also the same, which cannot be argued. The previous idea can be said to be completely wrong. Protecting the village is not just about protecting the big family of the village, but should also be specific to the individuals that make up the collective of the village. It can be said that the words awakened the dreamer. Jiraiya instantly realized that the attitude of the village's senior leaders towards the Uchiha clan was wrong from the beginning. It should not be the attitude of those who lead the village's senior leaders. The Uchiha clan is also a part of the village and should receive the same treatment. No wonder the Uchiha clan has always been on the fringes of the village. The root of the problem actually lies with the higher-ups of the village. As a disciple of the third Hokage, Jiraiya always knows some secrets. Naturally, he also knows that from the time of the first Hokage to the time when the second Hokage acted as an agent for the village's government affairs, the village has treated the Uchiha clan equally, and has received the same treatment as other families in dealing with the Uchiha clan. They received the same treatment. In fact, they were excluded and suppressed overtly and covertly. Whether the Uchiha clan is emotionally unstable or the Uchiha clan is not on good terms with many of the village-building families, it has become a norm in the village to exclude the Uchiha clan and dislike them. Treating a person like this will not bring that person back, let alone a family. Thinking of this, Jiraiya's eyes softened, and he was even more impressed by the outstanding young man in front of him. Yes, we adults turn a blind eye to such a simple and clear relationship, and are even more harsh on you Uchiha clan. I apologize to you here on behalf of myself, and I will try my best to persuade others to put aside their prejudice against you Uchiha. Quote, Nenga-kun, Jiraiya was just polite before, but this time he called him from the bottom of his heart. I hope you can say hello to the Fugaku clan leader for me. I will go see him when I have time. After thinking about it, Jiraiya stopped saying too much. After praising Uchiha Nenga, he said goodbye to each other and left to find Tsunade. Now Jiraiya was very excited and wanted to tell others everything he had learned, but there were very few people in Konoha who could talk to him on an equal footing, so he couldn't wait to find Tsunade. Uchiha Nanhi saw the other party's hurried look and made a guess, and was happy to see the other party like this. After all, there were spores all over the village collecting intelligence, so Uchiha Minagawa naturally knew what Sarutobi Hiruzen had planned by recalling his two disciples. Now looking at Jiraiya's behavior and attitude, it is not difficult for Uchiha Nenga to guess that Tsunade and Jiraiya have their own ideas when returning to the village this time, and they may not be as Sarutobi Hiruzen wishes. Therefore, Uchiha Nenga immediately contacted Spore, obtained recent information, and also learned about the previous conversation between the two of Sarutobi Hiruzen's family. Uchiha Nanhi burst out laughing instantly. Ha ha ha, it's true that the world and the world work together. Whoever wants to be the Hokage is not a Hokage, ha ha, this is your grave, Hiruzen Sarutobi. I didn't expect that the first person to stab you in the back would be your easiest disciple. Ha ha. Seeing how angry you were and smashed things, I felt happy. Haha, it seems that you will commit suicide in the near future. Now it's time to let the family do something. Quote, although Sarutobi Hiruzen had telescope skills, he did not dare to monitor Jiraiya's every move openly. Naturally, he did not know that Jiraiya had completely betrayed him and began to run counter to him in dealing with the Uchiha clan. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to take a look at Tsunade's condition. He had thought of all the excuses for being discovered, so he said he was concerned about the disciples who returned to the village. But when Hiruzen Sarutobi followed the familiar chakra fluctuations to find Tsunade, Tsunade immediately discovered the spy from above. Without saying a word, Tsunade yelled, "You're peeping again." Then she shook her chakra and broke Sarutobi Hiruzen's telescope technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was gloomy. Although it was only for a short moment, he still saw the blood in the vessel placed in front of Tsunade. In addition, the opponent was so angry that he broke his own ninjutsu. Naturally, he knew what Jiraiya said. It's true, the other party has really overcome his hemophobia and regained his fighting strength. At this time, Tsunade was naturally furious. Even though she didn't want to see the old guy, he still came to peep at her. Therefore, Tsunade didn't say much and directly broke the opponent's ninjutsu without noticing that she was now able to use chakra freely. Sarutobi Hiruzen probably never expected that just because he wanted to know whether the other party had overcome his hemophobia, something that originally took some time to fully accomplish, would actually help due to a strange combination of circumstances. The other party overcame his hemophobia. Just when Tsunade was feeling depressed, Jiraiya arrived just at this time. Seeing the lewd way that Jiraiya stared at her chest, Tsunade thought of Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was just as lustful as him. Without saying a word, he first give it a beating, and then talk about other things after the beating. Seeing Tsunade take action, Jiraiya had no choice but to beg for mercy while desperately protecting his face. After a while, Tsunade finished her anger and stopped, asking the other party's origins. Naturally, Jiraiya's face, which he considered particularly important, was not saved. However, when he thought about the reason why he came here, Jiraiya no longer cared about why the other party was so angry. With a bruised face, he hurriedly told what Uchiha Nenga said and his own understanding. Tsunade looked at Jiraiya in surprise, not expecting that the other person had such awareness, and at the same time she became interested in Uchiha Nenga. Oh, what an interesting little guy. What exactly is a village? Even the eldest grandfather and the second grandfather have different answers. I only know that the village is the place where I grew up, and it is the place that my relatives and ancestors have tried their best to protect. I don't even know why they prefer this land so much. It is because of them that I can come back. In addition, the village, it doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't expect that it would be a member of the Uchiha family who was the first to give such a simple and factual answer. I really wanted to see what kind of brat he was. Quote. Then, Tsunade turned her attention to Jiraiya, wanting Jiraiya to describe Uchiha Minami first. After all, Jiraiya was now the other party's leading teacher. But when she saw Jiraiya being implicated by Sarutobi Hiruzen and being beaten into a pig's head by herself, she had previously focused on the other person's words and didn't pay attention at all. Now seeing him like this, Tsunade couldn't help laughing. The sound came, and the body kept shaking, and the scene entered the welfare time. Jiraiya immediately noticed such a beautiful scenery and was stunned. His saliva flowed out unconsciously, and he kept chanting words such as, "It's so big, so exciting." After Uchiha Nenga received what happened when Sarutobi Hiruzen met Jiraiya, he analyzed the current psychology of Sarutobi Hiruzen. The other party is obviously a little dazed now, either because he has lost Danzo and needs to do the dirty work, which has affected his character, or his obsession with continuing to control the Hokage's power and destroying the Uchiha has overtaken everything else, or both. Yes. In short, as long as there are people who oppose Sarutobi Hiruzen to continue to become Hokage and to destroy the Uchiha clan, they are his enemies. Judging from the fact that after Jiraiya left, he was smashing things crazily and saying that he wanted to kill Tsunade, even if he was a disciple, he was no exception. Therefore, for the other party's crazy testing behavior on the verge of seeking death, Uchiha Nenga was ready to add fuel to his fire, such as starting a public opinion offensive or something. As long as the Uchiha side reveals dirty information about Sarutobi Hiruzen and his senior officials, Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others will definitely be in chaos. In order to stabilize the situation and preserve one's reputation and status, the first thought must be to integrate all forces and deal with the Uchiha clan as soon as possible. However, he originally thought of recalling 2 disciples to help him get rid of the Uchiha clan, and the worst plan was to block Uchiha Nanhi. Now, these 2 disciples not only do not support themselves as a teacher, they even raise the idea of letting themselves as a teacher. How can I bear the plan to step down and give up the position of Hokage to the Uchiha clan? Therefore, the best way for Sarutobi Hiruzen now is to get rid of Tsunade, a Sannin with a strong appeal, and then kidnap Jiraiya with righteousness and morality, forcing him to side with him. This would prevent anyone with enough weight to oppose the Hokage's order when he ordered to deal with the Uchiha clan. This just fell into Uchiha Minagawa's trap. Naturally, he would not let Sarutobi Hiruzen succeed. As long as he saved Tsunade at the critical moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen would directly kill himself and lose the last chance to save his life. Otherwise, when Uchiha wants to attack Hiruzen Sarutobi, there is no chance that Jiraiya or Tsunade will miss their old relationship and ensure that he can enjoy a peaceful old age. After all, what the Uchiha clan wants is Hokage, not a ruined Konoha. Of course, the more intact the village's combat power is, the better, and the more support the village ninjas have, the better. Therefore, you cannot kill all those who oppose it regardless. Try to win over those who can be won over. Of course, if you cannot win over those who are still stubborn, there will be no future troubles. Therefore, Uchiha Minagawa did not delay anymore, and directly found Uchiha Fugaku, and told Uchiha Fugaku all the information he knew about Sarutobi Hiruzen and his plan for it. Uchiha Fugaku was also very happy when he learned that Sarutobi Hiruzen and Tsunade Jiraiya were at odds. But when he heard that Hiruzen Sarutobi was preparing to attack Tsunade in order to consolidate power, even as the leader of the Uchiha clan, he was shocked by the cruelty and ruthlessness of this Hokage. At a certain time, the Uchiha tribesmen were fighting each other in order to activate the Mangekyo Sharingan, and they had a chance to compete. That night, Uchiha Fugaku convened a clan meeting and explained the next plan and arrangement, and then left behind those clansmen who were valuable for cultivation. The remaining tribesmen looked at each other in confusion, but after all, they were carefully selected from many tribesmen after long-term observation by Uchiha Fugaku. Soon, everyone saw the clues from the tribe leaders' arrangement one after another. Lord Clan Leader, can we start to fight back against the senior officials led by Sarutobi Hiruzen? Yes, Mr. Patriarch, you just arranged for the clan members not to go out in the near future and to be ready for battle at any time. Are you already planning to take action against the higher-ups? Master Patriarch, if you need our help, if you ask us, no matter what, we will definitely complete the task. Uchiha Fugaku saw that everyone was eager to deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen and the senior officials. He also knew that the grievances he suffered these days had indeed made these tribesmen endure enough and their hearts could be used, so he no longer remained silent. Yes, I got the exact news here. Recently, in order to deal with our Uchiha clan, Sarutobi Hiruzen called back Jiraiya and Tsunade among the 3 ninjas. But what made him miscalculate was that Tsunade and Jiraiya were people who really loved the village and saw his hypocritical face, so they did not deal with our Uchiha clan as he wanted. Quote, when Uchiha Fugaku talked about Tsunade and Jiraiya, everyone also showed solemn expressions. After all, the title of Konoha Sannin was earned with real swords and guns on the battlefield. After the last battle at the root base, even those tribesmen who were extremely arrogant in the past knew the gold content in it, and naturally they would no longer be as ignorant as before. Therefore, when they learned that Tsunade and Jiraiya did not side with Sarutobi Hiruzen against them, everyone's joy was beyond words. Uchiha Fugaku was also very pleased with this. Finally, he was no longer as reckless as before. Only when he knew the right measures could he handle the next things that needed to be done secretly. Therefore, Uchiha Fugaku no longer delayed and directly stated his future plans. This naturally made Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others lose their sense of proportion. Naturally, we will not miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. At this time, you need to spread the dirty information about the village's high-level officials in the village. Of course, the most important thing is to keep things secret and not let them react too early, thus sending out Anbu to suppress the matter. When most people in the village know their true identity, it's time for our security department to step forward. At that time, we can completely carry out the duties of our security department openly, judge them, and clean up the darkness in the village. Quote. When Uchiha Fugaku actually made a counterattack arrangement, all the Uchiha clan members also understood the benefits of such an arrangement, and they all praised the clan leader for his wisdom. Thinking that the Uchiha clan would finally appear as a partner of justice and wipe out the evil dragons of the old age like Sarutobi Hiruzen who were hiding in the darkness, they all immediately cheered and rushed to think, as if they had been given a shot of blood. You must be the first to implement this plan. Uchiha Fugaku did not stop him and allowed them to vent everything before continuing. Justice will surely defeat evil. We, the Uchiha clan, are upright and upright. We have acted as the village's law enforcers since the founding of the village. This time will be no exception, we will eventually become the heroes of Konoha. However, before we succeed, we still have to be careful and not give Hiruzen Sarutobi a chance to make a comeback. Next, Uchiha Nenga will give everyone a specific action plan. Quote. Since the last counterattack against Danzo Shimura, everyone has recognized this new generation leader of the family. Everyone respects him as much as Uchiha Fugaku, the clan leader, so everyone has no objections to this. Uchiha Nanhi did not hesitate and arranged the specific process of this operation without hesitation. The best starting point for spreading news and guiding public opinion is to be closely related to the person involved, so that everyone can empathize and share the same hatred and hatred. Therefore, among the many shady materials from high-level officials, our revelations must also be made in an orderly manner. Quote. Among the many pieces of dirty information I collected about high-level officials, there is one thing that concerns everyone in the village. That was about Uzumaki Naruto, the orphan of the fourth Hokage, whose identity as a hero was concealed, living a precarious life, and was hostile to most villagers and ninjas as a demon fox. Quote. As soon as Uchiha Nanhi finished speaking, everyone burst into an uproar in disbelief. What? That child turned out to be the orphan of the fourth Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen, what on earth did he do? The orphan hero who risked his life for the village ended up like this. How could he face the fourth Hokage? Couple. How is it possible? The kid called the demon fox is actually the hero who sealed the nine tails with his body. No wonder there are rumors circulating in the village that he is the demon fox. It turns out that all this is the conspiracy of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Does he want to cultivate the hero's orphan into his personal tool? Quote. This must not be forgotten. We must let everyone know the news and see who else is willing to work for him as Hokage. By then, those who have treated Uzumaki Naruto maliciously will definitely be the first to stand up and accuse Sarutobi High. Cut. This incident alone is enough for Sarutobi Hiruzen to step down. Quote. Quote. All the Uchiha people were excited. Some felt unworthy of the fourth Hokage and his wife, while others sympathized with Uzumaki Naruto's experience. Of course, there were also those who rationally analyzed and guessed what would happen next. Uchiha Nanhi waited for everyone to discuss and exchange opinions before continuing to make arrangements. In order to prevent Sarutobi Hiruzen from discovering the clues prematurely, you can first reveal the news to those who usually hate Uzumaki Naruto the most. With their usual attitude towards Naruto, they naturally did not dare to spread the news to everyone immediately. They would only quietly change their attitude towards Naruto and then seek confirmation in private. When everyone else mentions this, they will become the most active supporters of Uzumaki Naruto. They were the ones who lost everything in the Nine Tails Rebellion. Even if there were warnings and suppression from the Anbu at that time, they would not worry about their own lives because of the condemnation of their conscience and Naruto's favor to them. Totally causing trouble. Quote. At that time, it is our time to release other news. With them in front, Sarutobi High will have no way to suppress it. After that, everyone discussed some details together and couldn't wait to start taking action. Uchiha Nanhi was naturally not idle. After receiving the news from the Spore Technique, he began to prepare a big gift for someone tomorrow. After a night of silence, Uchiha Minami got up early the next morning and started his unshakable practice habit. Since the last sparring session with Metkai, Uchiha Nenga's training focus has been on physical skills, and in other aspects he has only chosen some more functional ninjutsu training. There are many types of ninjutsu. What Uchiha Nenga is pursuing now is just to have corresponding ninjutsu that can be used when necessary. He no longer pursues those powerful ninjutsu. As for illusion, Uchiha Minagawa does not intend to give up. According to the Taoist theory of the previous life, the best development direction is for spirit, energy and spirit to go hand in hand, and illusion is a very good way to use spiritual power. As for essence and energy, Uchiha Minagawa plans to promote each other and go hand in hand. Nowadays, Uchiha Nenga has become accustomed to practicing in the world of Kamui. This started from a sudden idea he had when he first evolved into the world of Kamui. After the evolution of the Divine Power World was completed and a space entrance to the Divine Power World could be opened from the outside world, the natural power from the outside world naturally flowed into the Divine Power World. At first, Uchiha Nenga didn't care, but when he thought about the power of celestial magic, he immediately thought of the natural energy that filled the world. It was at this time that he noticed the energy in his divine world. When he was trying to understand and control this energy, he suddenly thought, I am in the world of Shinwei now, why not try to integrate this natural energy? Just do what you say, and use your absolute mastery of the world of divine power to integrate a small amount of natural energy into your body effortlessly. At this time, through the natural energy existing in your body, you finally feel it. The existence of this mysterious energy. After several more attempts, Uchiha Nenga's body also remembered this feeling, and he could also feel the existence of natural energy from the outside world. However, natural energy is a very unstable energy. There is no problem if a small amount is absorbed, but once more is absorbed, the body will immediately show signs of petrification. Fortunately, these experiments were all conducted in the Kamui world, and Uchiha Nenga could consume chakra and extract natural energy through the Kamui world. Uchiha Nanhi thought for a while and understood the reason. After all, natural energy fills the entire ninja world. When living things breathe, they will naturally breathe natural energy, so living things can actually adapt to a small amount of natural energy. As for signs of petrification, if there are too many, this is pretty good in Uchiha Minga's opinion. In the cultivation legends of the previous life, foreign spiritual energy needs to be refined and absorbed. If you try to absorb the spiritual energy randomly, the mild case will go wrong and enter the demonic meridians, and the dantian will be shattered, lose all cultivation abilities and become a cripple, or the serious case will directly explode and die. The natural energy in the ninja world can be regarded as a different kind of spiritual energy, and this energy only petrifies the person it absorbs. When this petrification is not serious, it can even be reversed by extracting the natural energy. This is already quite mild. Yes. The process of synthesizing senjutsu chakra seems more like a refining process to Uchiha Minami. After all, chakra contains the spiritual power of the host. Therefore, merging chakra with natural energy forms senjutsu chakra. The process of karat is more like using spiritual power to refine and tame the opponent. Through this idea, Uchiha Minagawa continued to experiment in the world of Kamui, and now he has been able to tame part of the natural energy entering the body and flow in the body. However, this tamed natural energy will continue to dissipate out of the body over time and cannot be stored for a long time. Uchiha Nanhi also thought about using sealing techniques, learning from Tsunade's yin seal to seal it, and then take it out and use it when needed. However, natural energy seems to have an inherent corrosive characteristic, and the sealing technique will be destroyed by erosion in a short time. Uchiha Nenga also had to sigh. Maybe this is the reason why Orochimaru, a top talent in the ninja world, can only use the curse seal to absorb it instantly. However, although Uchiha Nenga has not found a way to store and prevent its loss, he has discovered through his absolute control over the world of Kamui that when there is refined natural energy in the body will still absorb a small amount through physical exercise. Some will not completely dissipate. It's just that this absorption efficiency is very low, even so low that it would not be detectable if it were not through the world of Kamui, even if Uchiha Minami opens the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, or uses the powerful perception ability endowed by the immortal body. This is why Uchiha Minagawa has not been exercising and absorbing for a long time. In fact, in the process of absorbing these energies, the body is constantly adapting to these natural energies. Therefore, as long as he continues to persist, the speed of this kind of absorption will only increase in the future, faster and faster. However, what the body absorbs is what it absorbs. As long as it can continue to be absorbed like this, the body will be strengthened. Over the years, quantitative changes will lead to qualitative changes. Uchiha Nenga believes that he can continue to become stronger and extend his life like the immortals in the three holy lands. Life. Therefore, Uchiha Nenga would go to the world of Kamui every day to undergo a training process of first refining natural energy, and then absorbing natural energy to strengthen the body through taijutsu exercises. Not only does this make the body stronger and stronger, but through the all-round monitoring of the Kamui world, Uchiha Nenga's physical training has also been corrected to a very comprehensive level, which is undoubtedly an unexpected surprise. Through this kind of assistance from Kamui world, Uchiha Nenga's physical strength has improved rapidly. One day of training in Kamui world can be regarded as the result of others' hard training in the outside world for several months. It's just that the consumption of food is considerable, but with Uchiha Nenga's current status in the Uchiha clan, this consumption can be supported. Although today we still need to pass the test of Jiraiya, the leader of the team, and it is conceivable that there will be a very consuming battle afterwards, but this does not disrupt Uchiha Minami's habit of entering the world of Kamui every day to practice. After such a long period of training in the world of Kamui, Uchiha Minagawa has made a huge improvement in terms of strength and physical strength. Therefore, Uchiha Nenga did not continue his usual physical exercise method today. Thinking of the upcoming actual battle with Jiraiya, Uchiha Minga also reacted instantly. Since the world of Kamui can manifest objects, can it also manifest people? Just as he said, Uchiha Nenga immediately manifested a Metkai. After all, among the opponents he had played against, only Metkai suited his taste the most. Uchiha Nanhi soon manifested Metkai, but to his disappointment, this Metkai had a physical form but no fighting ability. If you want to fight him, all the data and actions need to be imagined by yourself, which will not have the slightest effect of battle training. Uchiha Nenga has no choice. After all, Kamui world is not omnipotent. For such a person who doesn't even know the extent of the opponent's strength, Kamui world can only be realized according to his own imagination. This is the inherited ability to turn reality into reality. If this Metkai materializes into reality, the outside universe will naturally extract the power of Uchiha Minami and fill in the missing details to make the materialization successful. In this Kamui world between illusion and reality, there is naturally no ability to automatically add details, and it is completely necessary for Uchiha Minagawa to describe it. Then, Uchiha Nenga thought of Uchiha Fugaku, who had entered the Kamui world before. At that time, he had used the Kamui world to scan all the opponent's data. Although Uchiha Nenga's attention at that time was all about integrating the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Kamui world had actually recorded the other party's existence, and it would not be troublesome to manifest it now. As soon as he thought of it, Uchiha Nenga immediately manifested himself as Uchiha Fugaku. After feeling it for a while, a look of surprise appeared on his face. Sure enough, it worked. This is a way to really train in actual combat. However, if you want to make a clone of this strength move, it will consume a lot of chakra. Perhaps I can also use Kamui world to scan more people and obtain more data. Then as long as I have enough chakra, I can fight against all kinds of masters and improve my fighting experience. Maybe I don't need to bring them into the world of Shinwei at all. When I touch them, I can quickly use the pupil power to cover them and complete the scanning of their data in an instant. This is undoubtedly more efficient and won't expose my trump card. I can even copy myself and play against myself to better understand my shortcomings. While thinking, Uchiha Nenga immediately dispersed the manifested Uchiha Fugaku. Undoubtedly, it is far better to fight against Uchiha Fugaku now than to fight against himself first, and finding out the shortcomings is the key point. Soon, a new Uchiha Minagawa appeared in front of Uchiha Minami. He did not give this new Uchiha Minami too much emotion, only gave him memories about fighting and absolutely calm wisdom. Why does this scene feel a bit familiar? Copying an image of a full-time battle. Yes, isn't this the water mirror technique of the fourth Mizukage? Maybe I can also use the ability to turn reality into reality and imitate this ninjutsu. At that time, you only need to use the principle of shadow clone to form an image clone formed by chakra, and there is no need to consume chakra like turning virtual reality into reality. However, the water mirror technique of the fourth Mizukage is really magical. How did he manage to imitate other people's abilities without touching the enemy and only rely on images? With this ninjutsu, I don't have to take such risks to collect other people's data. Thanks to the reader, Dadamao Blue Light, for his imagination. Uchiha Nanhi wrote this down and stopped thinking about it. With a thought, the clone on the other side threw out several shurikens. Uchiha Nenga also knew his own abilities, so naturally he would not let the other party use the technique of turning back with shurikens. He immediately drew out the kunai, opened the Sharingan, and shot down all the shurikens one by one. Choke. As soon as Uchiha Nenga shot down the shuriken, the clone came to his side. Uchiha Nenga had to resist hastily, and the two kunai collided instantly. But after all, Uchiha Minagawa acted in a hurry and lost the opportunity. With his current posture, he was unable to exert his full strength. Gradually, Uchiha Minami was suppressed by the clone and suppressed the kunai to his chest. Helpless, Uchiha Nanhi immediately pulled back and swept forward with his feet. The clone did not jump up as he wished, but instead pressed the kunai down and retreated. Seeing that the opponent's kunai was about to hit his swept calf, Uchiha Nenga immediately spun his body, avoiding the opponent's kunai, and at the same time kicked the opponent's arm holding the kunai. However, like a robot, the clone had calculated everything. Following Uchiha Nenga's strength, he quickly rotated his body on one foot. He raised the remaining foot high and directly used the power of rotation to kick Uchiha hard. Bonon had not had time to retract his legs. Uchiha Minagawa simply couldn't withstand such a powerful side impact with one foot, so he had to press his free hand on the ground, imitating the opponent's move just now, using this hand as a support point, spinning and kicking the opponent in return. Also relying on the strength of the opponent, this kick was just as fast. The clone could not immediately adjust his posture to counterattack, so he had to use the Iron Mountain method to have a head-on collision with Uchiha Minagawa. Sure enough, he was a clone who was only given a fighting spirit. Although both of them were repelled in this collision, the attacking Uchiha Minagawa was at a disadvantage. It's so exciting. I just want this feeling of punching and punching hard. Just as Uchiha Nanhi was sighing, the clone formed the seal as it flew back. Fire escaped the art of Fire Dragon. Before he even landed, a huge fire dragon attacked in front of Uchiha Minami. There was no trace of nervousness on Uchiha Minami's face, but a hint of excitement flashed across his face. His whole body was covered with chakra, and the repulsive properties of chakra were fully utilized, and his feet were even slightly off the ground. Then there was a loud shout. "Break it for me." Boom. I saw that the fireball that had condensed into a dragon shape seemed to explode, and was violently scattered from the middle in an instant. When all the flames dispersed, Uchiha Nenga's proudly laughing expression appeared. "Ha ha ha, I do it too, ah." Boom. Uchiha Nenga, who was still proud at first, immediately bowed into a shrimp, and underneath him was the clone who had just passed through the dazzling light of the fire dragon, and followed him from the short distance between the fire dragon and the ground. "Can you do this?" Uchiha Minga was so painful that tears flowed out, and a pool of saliva spurted out of his mouth. But what surprised him even more was that the clones were not afraid of the strong heat of the fire dragon and attacked directly with the fire dragon. Despite the proud look on Uchiha Nenga's face when he defeated the fire dragon, he actually regretted it when he defeated the fire dragon. The scorching temperature was really not what most people were willing to bear. Seeing that the opponent was about to take action, Uchiha Nenga was immediately frightened and shouted frantically to stop. With thoughts racing in his heart, he used the world of divine power to directly dissipate the clones. Seeing that the clones finally dissipated, Uchiha Nanhi sat down on the ground with relief, and it took him a while to recover from the punch that almost knocked out his gallbladder. "Ha ha ha, it's me as expected. Not only did I defeat the ninjutsu, but I also came up with such an awesome attack method that even I was caught off guard. However, now it seems that I still urgently need a strong perception ability." Quote. Uchiha Nanhi soon realized the shortcomings of the Sharingan. For those enemies who knew that the Sharingan had powerful dynamic vision, avoiding the Sharingan's gaze and launching a surprise attack from a blind corner was already a basic tactic. The eyes are the main sense for human beings to collect information, and when Uchiha has a powerful Sharingan, he relies even more on this sense, so that other senses will be suppressed by the sense of the eyes and become incompetent. So sensitive again. In the original work, even a person as powerful as Madara Uchiha had his fighting ability greatly reduced when he was resurrected without eyes, and was overthrown by White Zetsu. He also said that his previous battles were not elegant enough. And relying only on the perception ability given by the immortal human body is more about the perception of oneself. The perception of the outside world depends on the whirlpool physique of the same lineage as the immortal human body. The unreasonable Kagura mind eyes can have a wider range of perception. It has the ability to see through the opponent even at a distance of dozens of kilometers. Uchiha Nenga has now realized the importance of perception ability, and is naturally very coveted for this ability. He plans to wait until the situation in Konoha stabilizes, then go to Kusugakure village to bring Shang Rin back to Konoha. If there was no Sage of Six Paths, the opponent's development potential would be no worse than Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. After making up his mind, Uchiha Nenga did not delay any longer. After leaving Kamui world and having breakfast, he slowly arrived at the third training ground on time. When they arrived at the third training ground, they found Kabuto Yakushi and Hinata Tama already waiting at the training ground. Uchiha Nenga had a good sense of these two teammates, and he took the initiative to wave and say hello. "Good morning, Kabuto, Tama." The two also responded with smiles and said hello one after another, and the scene was very harmonious. After the three of them greeted each other, Jiraiya came to the training ground with a puff of smoke. "Hey, everyone came on time, so let's start today's drill. Because of your excellent ninja talents, you won't play the trick of grabbing the bell. This time, you need to fight my shadow clone. No matter what method you use, as long as you can defeat my clone, you will pass." Quote. The three of them all came from extraordinary backgrounds and knew the graduation process. Naturally, they knew that Konoha's tradition was to compete for bells and test their teamwork skills. The appearance of Jiraiya now surprised all three of them, but without exception, everyone was very excited to fight against Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas. "Well, it looks like you are ready to fight, so let's get started. I am the shadow clone now." As soon as Jiraiya finished speaking, the three of them immediately prepared for battle. Minami Uchiha and Tama Hinata both activated the blood succession limit, and Kabuto Yakushi also raised his chakra scalpel. Then, Hyuga Tama, who was good at Hyuga soft fist, rushed towards Jiraiya, followed closely by Kabuto Yakushi holding a chakra scalpel. Originally, I wanted Hinata to pick up a bow and arrow, but after thinking about it, I decided not to do it. She was already too lazy to do all these fancy things. Uchiha Minami's Sharingan noticed Jiraiya's tendency to form seals, and immediately threw several shurikens. The three of them cooperated for the first time, but did not form a tacit understanding of the battle, and Uchiha Minami did not use the turning skills of shurikens. He was afraid that he would not hit Jiraiya and would instead injure his teammates. After all, with Jiraiya's position in the village, he must know the Uchiha family's unique shuriken technique. Jiraiya glanced at Uchiha Nenga in surprise. He didn't expect that the other party didn't attack first. This was not Uchiha at all. But Jiraiya immediately understood the other party's plan. "Do you want the two teammates to show off to their heart's content? You can play support without any effort. If you can win, you can give up and be relaxed. If your teammates don't do their best, then you can turn the tide on your own." Haha, the behavior is exactly as recorded in the data. However, I seem to be underestimated. It seems that I need to be more serious and show some real skills. Quote. Jiraiya saw Uchiha Minagawa's carelessness, his eyes instantly became serious, he immediately gave up the idea of forming a seal in his hand, pulled out a kunai, and casually shot down the shuriken shot by Uchiha Minagawa. With his free hand, he swung Hinata's soft fist attack to the side. He exerted force under his feet and stepped forward with a knee strike, pushing Hinata directly towards Yakushi Kabuto, who was following behind, waiting for an opportunity to cooperate. When Yakushi Kabuto saw the Hyugadama in front of him flying back towards him, out of identity, he immediately dispersed the chakra scalpel in his hand to avoid hurting the opponent, and then moved forward with both hands and feet, preparing to catch the Hyugadama. So heavy. It was obvious that Jiraiya also guessed Yakushi Kabuto's response strategy. When repelling Hyugatama, the force he exerted directly knocked them both away. Yakushi Kabuto was well prepared to defend against the collision. It had no effect at all. Such a clever method instantly eliminated the cooperation of the three of them. Uchiha Minga was helpless. Not to mention Hinata, Kabuto Yakushi definitely hid his strength. Seeing such a situation, the idea of being lazy was in vain. But Jiraiya was unwilling to give up. When he was repelling Hyugadama, he began to form seals with his hands. Through the Sharingan, Uchiha Minagawa judged that the opponent was going to use fire escape. Having had the experience of having his vision obscured by fire escape several times, Uchiha Nenga also had a way to deal with it. Without any further hesitation, Uchiha Nanhi immediately jumped in front of the two people who fell to the ground, and quickly formed seals in his hands. Fire escape flame bullet. Wind done big breakthrough. In an instant, the two ninjutsu collided in the middle, and the smoke and dust rolled up by the two filled the entire field of vision ahead. Seeing the tendency of the fire release to press forward, Uchiha Minami no longer had any scruples and immediately increased his chakra. While pushing the fire release towards the opponent, it also prevented Jiraiya from waiting for an opportunity to get closer. The two went back and forth with each other for a while, and Jiraiya was the first to give up this behavior of simply consuming chakra. After all, the other party was just a shadow clone now, and his chakra was limited, so he couldn't waste it on such things. It's not bad. Jiraiya was slightly surprised by the amount of chakra Uchiha Minga had, and immediately jumped away from the place. After leaving the fire escape coverage, he also saw Uchiha Minga in the rear. Then, Jiraiya remained calm and formed seals with his hands again, preparing to launch a surprise attack before the opponent noticed him. When Uchiha Nanhi felt that the opponent's fire escape had no follow-up power, he immediately knew that the opponent had left the place, and he was very vigilant. He looked around but did not see the opponent's figure, and immediately realized where the opponent was. Above, when Uchiha Nenga looked up and saw Jiraiya, he found that it was obviously too late and the other party had already formed the seal. Ninja technique * the jutsu of random lion's hair. Obviously, Jiraiya also thought that the opponent had no time to evade, so without wanting to hurt the opponent, he used the technique of random lion hair to trap Uchiha Nenga. Uchiha Minga below also seemed to be frightened and did not make any evasive movements. In fact, in front of Jiraiya's freely controlled hair, he had no room to evade in such a short period of time. Therefore, Jiraiya entangled the other party's hair with no effort. At this time, Hyugatama and Yakushi Kabuto struggled to get up from the ground. Looking at their efforts to stand up, it was impossible for them to continue fighting and rescue Uchiha Minga. Jiraiya also let down his guard and laughed proudly. Ha ha ha, little devils, feel the charm of the white-haired boy Jiraiya-sama. However, before he could be happy for a long time, a joking voice came from the restrained Uchiha Nenga. Really, Mr. Jiraiya, your charm doesn't seem to be that great. Boom. As soon as Uchiha Nenga finished speaking, the restrained man turned into smoke. Jiraiya secretly screamed, and immediately wanted to leave the place. But at this moment, a cold kunai was placed on his neck, and Uchiha Minami's voice came from behind. You say so, Jiraiya-sensei. You know, before Metkai came back, Uchiha Nanhi had fought against Kakashi many times, and Uchiha Nanhi also learned how to use the shadow clone that the opponent was good at. When Jiraiya gave up the fight, Uchiha Nenga also created a clone to pretend to be the original body. However, the original body took advantage of the situation and used Earth Escape to hide not far from the clone. Sure enough, this move had an unexpected effect under Jiraiya's carelessness. Well, isn't this a disgusting trick that Brat Kakashi often uses? He did this because he was short of chakra. You obviously have so much chakra, but you still use such a disgusting trick. I have to say, you are really an Uchiha. Jiraiya's somewhat helpless voice sounded. Apparently he was also blinded by his usual experience. Haha, as long as an effective move is a good move, Jiraiya-sensei won't deny our victory, right? Uchiha Minami is not averse to the use of these ninjutsu. If Jiraiya hadn't used fire release, Uchiha Minami had experienced the burning pain of the heat wave during the battle with the clone this morning. He would have really wanted to use his fists to force him. It felt like destroying Jiraiya's clone of the three ninjas. How is it possible? I am the Toad Sage Jiraiya, how can it be possible that what I say does not count? Okay, I hereby announce that you have all passed the exercise assessment and officially became a glorious Konoha genin. Quote. Yeah, Hinata Yu was the first to cheer. Kabuto Yakushi just smiled and nodded. After all, the other party was already a ninja, and he came here just to get in touch with Uchiha Nenga. When Uchiha Nenga heard the term, Konoha genin, his face looked strange. You know, the most terrifying thing in Konoha is the genin. Okay, since you are all so motivated now, let's get down to the most important work of a ninja. Are you accepting a mission? Mr. Jiraiya, what level of mission do we need to accept? In this team, only Hinata Tama, a generous girl, can be so active, so she was the first to ask the question. After all, Jiraiya is not an ordinary team leader, and their team is not an ordinary team. With Jiraiya's out-of-the-box character, the low-level tasks of catching cats and dogs that other teams need to go through are likely to be eliminated by him. Omitted. Ahem, well, it's because the teacher is inconvenient today, and the ninja world is now in a period of peace, so there will be fewer other tasks. Therefore, we can take on some low-level D-level missions today to hone the team's cooperation. Quote. Jiraiya rubbed the back of his head in embarrassment and said with an evasive expression. Obviously, this was not the original intention of the other party. What? It turns out to be a D-level mission. Teacher, your real body shouldn't be peeping somewhere, right? Sure enough, what the adults said is right. You must pay attention to a certain white-haired old pervert in the village. If I had known this would be the case, I should have let Nanhi blow up this shadow clone of yours. Quote. Hyugatama exposed Jiraiya without any mercy. Judging from her appearance, if she hadn't been concerned about the other party's identity, she might have been able to kill the other party's shadow clone in a sneak attack. Ahem, how can a little girl slander an old man like me? What I do is called collecting materials. How can the thing about the writer be called voyeurism? Jiraiya just said this and wanted to defend himself, but the other party seemed to feel something and immediately changed his words. Forget it, judging from your relationship, it doesn't look like you need to go through D-level missions, so let's disband today and gather at the Hokage building at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then I will take on a mission that can really train you. Okay, disbanded. By the way, Nanhi, you stay. Quote. Hyuga Tama and Yakushi Kabuto, who were about to leave, also stopped and looked at Uchiha Nenga and Jiraiya with strange expressions. Yesterday, he explained that he had something to ask for advice, so they just assumed that Jiraiya wanted to resolve the conflict between the village and Uchiha. But today I couldn't even find the reason, which attracted the attention of the two people. It's none of your business. If I can let you know, you will naturally know it in the future. As a ninja, don't be so curious. Jiraiya saw the look in the eyes of the two people and warned them. When the two heard what Jiraiya said, they also knew that this might be something that was not convenient for them to know, so they stopped entangled and left directly. This time, Uchiha Nanhi knew the reason why Jiraiya left him. Uchiha Nanhe's plan last night was prepared for her, so he didn't say anything and waited quietly. When the figures of Kabuto Yakushi and Hyugatama disappeared from sight, a figure wearing a green coat came out of the woods nearby. The person who came was unexpectedly another one, Tsunade Hime, one of the three ninjas. Hey, Tsunade, I didn't expect you to be so impatient to see him. I'm also going to take them on a few D-level missions. Jiraiya waved and said hello, which also served as a reminder for Uchiha Nenga, identity, and the reason for keeping him. HMPH, Jiraiya, you're still so out of character. Are you going to spy on the women's bathhouse again? If you let me find out, I won't break a few of your ribs. Tsunade's threat immediately made Jiraiya shrink back, and he immediately replied with tacit understanding. No way, I have important things to do now, and it's also to test their strength, so I sent the clones here. Now that the main body is not here, since you have something to talk about, I will avoid it for now. Quote. After saying that, without waiting for Tsunade's reply, she immediately dismissed the shadow clones. Tsunade stopped paying too much attention and turned to look at Uchiha Nenga, who was smiling. Are you the Uchiha Minami who opened the Mangekyo Sharingan at a young age and turned the tide to save the Uchiha clan during the genocide plan of the 3 generations of old men? No matter how I look at you, you are just an ordinary kid. Are you really such a genius? Quote, Uchiha Nenga didn't care about Tsunade's doubts, and directly opened his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, looking at the other party provocatively. Tisk tisk, you are worthy of being the princess of the Thousand Hands clan, your body is so strong. Chapter 91. Before Tsunade could take action in anger, as the pattern in Uchiha Nenga's eternal Mangekyo Sharingan eyes rotated, the two of them stood on the spot instantly as if the pause button had been pressed. Then, the two figures appeared in a primitive forest, the time also changed from day to night, and there was a sound of harmony in the distance. Where is this genjutsu? Tsunade panicked slightly, and immediately realized that the Mangekyo Sharingan she had just seen Uchiha Minami had been cast on an illusion. Tsunade immediately became a little angry. She raised her hand to form a seal, preparing to break the illusion directly and then go out to teach this brat what respect is. It's useless. Uchiha Nenga's voice came from the side. HMPH, what a little trick. Tsunade said disdainfully, still forming seals to interrupt her own chakra. What? How is it possible? Isn't this an illusion? Impossible. Even if the space has been transferred, the time is not right. Tsunade was completely panicked now. This was so unreasonable. She wanted to feel a little bit about herself and the place she was in. Tsunade was a little horrified to find that there was indeed no sign of any genjutsu being cast on her, and the surrounding environment was becoming more and more real, as if the sense of dissonance she had just entered did not exist at all. However, after all, Tsunade is a famous medical master in the ninja world, and her grasp of her own changes is terrifying. Naturally, she will not ignore the slight sense of dissonance just now, and is determined to think that this is just a very clever illusion. Before Tsunade could deduce too much, Uchiha Nenga explained to her. We are in your dream, but this dream is not under your control now. This is how Uchiha Nenga used the principle of other gods to pull Tsunade into her dream, and used the method of turning the imaginary world into reality to design the environment of this dream world. This is also an illusion that Uchiha Nenga has gradually perfected after many times of using it on Baizetsu. This is also the first time he has used it on someone other than Baizetsu. However, the flavor of Baizetsu's dream world is a bit strong. What? We are in my dream. How did you do this? Your kaleidoscope eye technique. No wonder I can't feel the traces of the illusion technique. Kid, tell me, what do you want to do with this pupil technique? Quote. Tsunade was a little surprised, but thinking that this was her dream after all, she no longer panicked, and her expression returned to its previous arrogance. She crossed her arms unconsciously and questioned Uchiha Minga disdainfully. Uchiha Nanhi looked at Tsunade, and when he was about to say something, he was immediately amazed by the other person's current posture. Ahem, Tsunade-sama, it's better to be normal. Such a domineering look really doesn't suit you. Are you looking for death? Tsunade was furious. She immediately realized that her posture was uncomfortable, and she waved her fist to punch the opponent. Uchiha Nanhi hurriedly jumped away, waving his hands to persuade. Tsunade-sama, although this is a dream world, everything you experience will be reflected in your brain. Especially in the case of death, when your brain really receives the information that you think you are dead, your body in the outside world is likely to be severely damaged accordingly. Moreover, we do exist in this world and can interact with other people and things, so please don't mess around here. Quote. Is that so? It's really a magical pupil technique. As expected, as the second grandfather said, once you, the Uchiha clan, awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, you will have strange and very unreasonable abilities. This has also caused a lot of uncontrollable factors. After hearing Uchiha Nenga's warning, Tsunade gave up the idea of taking action against him and instead observed the surrounding environment. According to what you said, this is my dream, so I can control the world. But, why don't I feel anything at all? Uchiha Nanhi didn't pay attention to Tsunade's slander of Uchiha, but thought proudly in his heart, of course you don't feel anything at all. How could I possibly tell you that I covered and controlled your dream by turning fiction into reality? Quote. Ahem, maybe it's because I designed this dream world. Uchiha Nenga only hid the key information, but still told the truth that he designed the dream world. Is it your pupil ability again? Then where is this place? Why did you bring me here? Tsunade didn't dwell too much. Anyway, with the endorsement of the second grandfather, she pushed everything to the other party's Mangekyo. The pupil technique can explain it. Well, this is the place where chakra originated thousands of years ago. The reason I brought you here is also very simple. To resolve the 1,000-year grievances between our Uchiha clan and your Senju clan. At the same time, it is also to clear away the evidence that our Uchiha clan has been smeared by your Senju clan. Quote. What? Slander. You Uchiha clan still need us to smear you. It's really ridiculous. Obviously, when Tsunade heard Uchiha Nanhi say bad things about the Senju clan, she immediately ignored the previous words. Haha, no. Then can you honestly say that your second grandfather did not target our Uchiha clan? His apprentice and the current high-level village officials did not target our Uchiha clan. What's going on in the security department? A job where if you do it well it's your duty, if you don't do it well it's dereliction of duty, and it's a thankless job to offend people. Quote. So, the Senju clan, from the time when the first Hokage came to power and the second Hokage took charge, never thought of treating the Uchiha clan as one of their own, and they are always on guard. Isn't this a continuation of the hatred that has lasted for thousands of years? Uchiha Nenga's well-founded rebuttal left Tsunade speechless for a moment. In fact, Tsunade also understood that it was said that the two major families joined forces to establish Konoha village, but after Uchiha Madara left the village, the Uchiha clan did not follow. In fact, it was their Senju clan who never let go of their grudges. Whether it is the various policies directed against Uchiha by the second grandpa Senju Tobirama, the current mainstream voice in the village that rejects the Uchiha clan, or the fact that he has always been unwilling to contact the Uchiha clan, these are all manifestations of this hatred. Therefore, when Tsunade faced Uchiha Nenga's refutation, she had nothing to say and had to change the subject. You mean, the hatred between our two clans can be traced back to the birth of chakra thousands of years ago? When Uchiha Nenga saw the other party, he no longer argued or refused to give in. Those were the matters of the ancestors. Since Uchiha and Senju jointly founded the ninja village, there is no need to continue these things to the current generation. This is why Uchiha Nanhi wants to put an end to this feud completely. More importantly, Uchiha Nenga took a fancy to Tsunade's ability. If he wanted to find a person who was excellent in all aspects in the ninja world, it would be Tsunade and Hatake Kakashi. Kakashi is still too young and lacks experience in dealing with things, but Tsunade is already complete. After becoming the fifth Hokage in the original work, she performed very well during her tenure. This kind of all-round leadership ability is very important in education. It is really rare to see a ninja world that is not popular. The last one was Senju Tobirama. Although he didn't completely let go of his grudge against Uchiha, he still managed to a certain extent. Of course, the thousands of years of fighting in the ninja world has not been relieved, and a big reason is also because of the fighting between the two clans. This can be regarded as training Tsunade. Looking back at history, we can know the rise and fall. The old man of the Six Paths Sage was also cruel, treating the vast ninja world and thousands of lives as a testing ground for Indra and Asura to resolve their grievances. Had it not been for the discovery of a bigger enemy, the Otsutsuki clan, I am afraid that Naruto and Sasuke of this generation would have fallen out in the end, and the ninja world would still have been plunged into constant war because of the battle between Asura and Indra. Middle. Perhaps, this is the reason why the Sage of Six Paths did not stop the infinite Tsukuyomi and released Otsutsuki Kagaya, just to forcibly end the grudge between the two reincarnations under such high pressure. What really counts everything is the old silver coin Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Uchiha Nanhi no longer thought about it and responded to Tsunade. It's not that long ago. The reason at this point in time is just to let you recognize some things and gain a comprehensive understanding of the ninja world, so as to lay the foundation for our future cooperation. Cooperate with you Uchiha. Tsunade was about to express her objection to Uchiha Minga's decision to take care of herself, but was interrupted by Uchiha Minga, who saw the fire getting closer and closer in the distance. Okay, let's discuss these things after you have experienced everything here. I will hide our figures now and watch the show. Quote. Although this is a dream, and the two of them can interact with the surrounding things, in the final analysis, this world is controlled by Uchiha Minami, who uses the divine power to turn the virtual world into reality. It can still be easily done by hiding the two figures. Arrive. Look at the sky. Uchiha Nanhi reminded. Tsunade looked up as she was told, and saw an object emitting light falling towards them at a very fast speed. When he looked carefully, he immediately discovered that the light was wrapped in a beautiful white-haired woman who did not look like the ninja world. When she noticed the woman's eyes, Tsunade couldn't help but exclaimed. Byakugan, how is it possible? She is the ancestor of the Hyuga clan. Then aren't the Hyuga clan the most orthodox descendants of chakra in the entire ninja world? Aren't they the ancestors of all our ninjas? When Uchiha Nanhi heard Tsunade's magical brain circuit, he immediately staggered. What the hell? The Hyuga clan became the ancestors of ninjas. Ahem, strictly speaking, it is indeed like this. However, according to this reasoning, our Uchiha clan and your Senju clan are also the ancestors of ninjas. Especially for our Uchiha clan, the Indian style was invented by our ancestors, and the ability of ninjas to perform ninjutsu is all due to this. Okay, don't talk too much. Everything will be answered. Just keep reading. Uchiha Nanhi was also afraid that the other party would say something shocking again, so he immediately stopped the other party from wanting to continue asking. After that, Kagaya entered the country of the ancestors and gave birth to the Six-Path Sage and his younger brother. Under the instigation of Tomomaru, Otsutsuki Hagoromo discovered the cruelty of his mother. The two brothers joined forces to seal the mother. At the last moment, Kagaya fell from his hand. A mass of pitch-black material blended into the land and disappeared, without attracting the attention of the two of them. But all of this was clearly seen by the two onlookers, Tsunade and Uchiha Minagawa. Tsunade was about to ask, but then thought of what Uchiha Minagawa had just said, so she continued to watch patiently. Later, his younger brother Otsutsuki Hamura left a bloodline to go to the moon. His elder brother Otsutsuki Hagoromo traveled around to repair the wounds after the war. During this period, many people followed him, thus establishing the ninja sect. Otsutsuki Hagoromo asked everyone to cooperate with each other. Chakra is shared with everyone. Indra Asura was born to two heirs of the ninja sect. Indra was extremely talented and invented a more efficient way to use chakra. He had a calm and strict personality without losing his care for his younger brother and subordinates. The younger brother Asura is dull in nature and often makes jokes and troubles, but he has a gentle and friendly personality and can get along with everyone. In contrast to his elder brother Indra, he is even more loved by everyone. Therefore, as the successor of ninja sect, Sage of Six Paths chose his younger brother Asura, who had more supporters. This made my brother Indra, who had always claimed to be the heir of the ninja sect, unwilling to accept it. Under the bewitchment of the black Zetsu that split from Kagaya, he finally turned against his father and younger brother. Later, he used chakra to reincarnate, and his brother reincarnated into his own. The descendant of the Uchiha clan, the younger brother was reincarnated into his descendant, the Senju clan, and continued to fight for thousands of years. During these thousands of years, the dark Zetsu always provoked back and forth between the two sides, and even tampered with the stone tablets left by the Six-Path Sage. Finally, at the end of the Warring States period, the world stopped between Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashira. When we meet. When the world stopped for a while, Tsunade recovered from the shock and looked at Uchiha Minami in disbelief. Is all this true? Our Senju clan has been fighting with your Uchiha clan for thousands of years, all because of the position of the heir to the ninja sect that is nothing. And that guy who calls himself Zetsu in the dark, what is his purpose? Quote. Tsunade didn't quite believe what Uchiha Nenga said at first. She just thought that the other party needed her for something, so she made up such a story to convince herself. But the more she looked behind, she found that there were many details that were very similar to the clan's secret records, which gradually made Tsunade more and more suspicious. Therefore, as soon as Tsunade came back to her senses, she asked Uchiha Nenga for confirmation. She not only hoped that he could produce evidence that could prove it, but also hoped that all this was the result of his modification through legends. Otherwise, Tsunade would not be able to believe the fact that so many years of war in the ninja world were just for the sake of the heir to the long-lost ninja sect. Is there evidence? Maybe there is. After all, that dark guy, Kagaya Otsutsuki, who was sealed on the moon, and Toad Sento Todemaru, who intervened to witness all this, are still alive. Or maybe the slug immortal in the wet bone forest you signed with also knows these things. Of course, our Uchiha family has also been collecting the stone tablet passed down from the 6 Taoist sages, and everything is recorded on it. Quote, "This is why I know these things. You can also ask those immortals who have lived for thousands of years. As for that stone tablet, you need corresponding pupil power to see it. I guess there is nothing you can do." In fact, Uchiha Minami also knows that there are still loopholes in the events he constructed, such as Black Zetsu. In fact, few people know about this existence. Uchiha Minami has said so much anyway and doesn't care about it. It took a little thought to join in. After all, Uchiha Nenga was very disgusted in his previous life. It was obvious that he could tell everything and everyone could easily solve the problem by working together, but the protagonist concealed the most important information and in the end caused losses. It is both self-blame and reparation. Therefore, in order to prevent Tsunade from losing her complete judgment due to the lack of this important information, Uchiha Minami did not hide such important information because it was difficult to explain. I believed it. Even if he did not believe it, Tsunade the character should also make some preparations. Tsunade naturally knew that there must be some untruth in it. Not only did the other party lie, but even if the other party learned this from other places, she couldn't completely believe it. But it is true as the other party said, if you want to ask for proof, just find the immortals of the 3 holy places. Therefore, most of the facts should be credible, and because of this, Tsunade is even more crazy. As the old man of 6 paths sage, is he sick? If you don't choose a good successor, you have to choose the younger brother with mediocre ability. Now the brothers have turned against each other and the ninja world will not be peaceful for 1,000 years. Doesn't he even understand that leaders need to maintain their dignity? Isn't it because those who support my younger brother are easy to talk to? Everyone in this ninja sect has selfish motives, how long can they persist? Uchiha Nanhi looked at Tsunade strangely, and then motioned to the other party to look at the young men Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama who were frozen next to them. Tsunade had never seen her grandfather when he was young, so although he felt familiar, he still didn't recognize him. Who are these 2 people? Indra and Asura of this generation. This must be the end of the Warring States period, right? No, they are. In the previous history, Tsunade discovered that all the reincarnated hosts of Indra and Asura chakra will eventually become the strongest in their own tribe, and then the 2 will always meet each other, and there are many times when the 2 first have feelings for each other. It will still be pretty good. Of course, they will all turn against each other in the end, either because of the hatred between the 2 clans, or because of the instigation of that dark Zetsu. And thinking about the end of the Warring States period, the most outstanding of the 2 clans were Uchiha Madara and his grandfather Senju Hashirama. Yes, that's what you think, these 2 are Uchiha Madara and your great-grandfather Senju Hashirama. And your great-grandfather, Senju Hashirama, is the one you said was the one who defeated Uchiha Madara and was elected as the first Hokage because everyone had selfish motives and thought he was easy to talk to. It was also like this that later Uchiha Madara led the 9 Tails to attack the village, the battle at the Valley of the End, and the 3 subsequent ninja wars. Quote, seeing that the other party was hesitant, Uchiha Minami looked like he couldn't believe it. Uchiha Minami directly confirmed the other party's guess and told the subsequent facts. Kid, please don't talk nonsense. My grandfather is obviously stronger than Uchiha Madara. It is of course reasonable for him to become Hokage. This can be seen from the subsequent battle in the Valley of the End. Uchiha Madara is a narrow-minded person. Because he did not get the position of Hokage, he holds a grudge and wants to destroy the peace he finally achieved. If it hadn't been for the battle between him and the great-grandfather would not have died so early, and naturally the war would not have broken out so quickly in the ninja world. Quote, Tsunade refuted Uchiha Nenga's remarks angrily, thinking that the other party was on her side, so she quibbled with the facts and said such things. Uchiha Nanhi was not angry, really. Then let's continue watching. The rest of the content is about the follow-up plot that I got after consulting the records of the clan and the village, and asking the elders in the village. Let's talk about it after reading it. After that, he said no more and continued the scene between Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. Later, the 2 got to know each other using their younger brothers as an entry point, and after a mountain climbing competition, they made a bold decision to create a village at the foot of the mountain to protect their brothers. In the end, the two were discovered by their respective brothers and fathers, and the private meeting that became increasingly common was terminated. During the war between the two clans, the fathers of the two clan leaders passed away one after another, and the two were able to take control of the power. However, because of their childhood feelings, they could not control each other even on the battlefield. Unfortunately, in a war, Senju Hashirama's younger brother killed Uchiha Madara's younger brother, which escalated the war between the two clans, but in the end Senju Hashirama was the better and defeated Uchiha Madara. At the last moment, Senju Hashirama moved Madara Uchiha with his sincerity, allowing him to give up the hatred between the two races that lasted for thousands of years, and regain the promise he made when he was a child. The two races stopped making peace, thus leading other ninja races to come together. A village was built at the foot of Katayama. Coming to that mountain again, Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara established the two names of Konoha and Hokage based on each other's strengths. Senju Hashirama even promised the first Hokage leadership. Uchiha Madara, who was even more outstanding and lost his younger brother. I hope Uchiha Madara can protect everyone in the village as his younger brother. But things went against expectations. With Senju Hashirama's coaxing and cooperation, everyone in the village finally elected Senju Hashirama as Hokage, but Uchiha Madara was ignored by everyone. When the two met later, Senju Hashirama did not pay attention to Uchiha Madara's emotions, and the two had even different ideas. Uchiha Madara believed that for the sake of peace, he could conquer all the other ninja villages that had been established one after another and completely end the war in the ninja world. However, Senju Hashirama thought that as long as the village was protected, everyone would be protected. There is no need to cause more killings. Uchiha Madara felt that his friend was getting further and further away from him, and under the secret guidance of Black Zetsu, he finally turned against Senju Hashirama. The two fought in the Valley of the End, and finally ended with Uchiha Madara's death. After that came the first meeting of the Five Kage. In order to balance the strength of each village, Senju Hashirama distributed the tailed beasts, and left the strongest 9 tails in Konoha, which has the best environment in the ninja world. Later, when his lifespan reached the end, the number 1 in the ninja world, the First World War began, and the scene stopped at the moment when Senju Hashirama suddenly passed away. Seeing the world stop, Tsunade stared sadly at Senju Hashirama, who closed his eyes and smiled, with a somewhat complicated expression. Seeing the death of the grandfather who loved him the most, and thinking about the subsequent sacrifices of the Senju clan, and only herself being left in the end, even Tsunade, who had always shown herself as a strong woman, shed helpless tears. You are so cruel. I am the only one left in the end. It is this kind of drama of fighting for power. Is Hokage really that important? When Tsunade saw all this, she thought of the Senju clan and Konoha today, and she felt a little resentful about her eldest grandfather and second grandfather. What touched Tsunade the most was Uchiha Madara's words before his death. Sure enough, if it was just for the sake of the village without caring about the individual, the village would be dark. The idea that Uchiha Madara is willing to carry all this, let the Uchiha clan do it, arises in his heart. Perhaps with Uchiha Madara's ideas and the powerful force of Grandpa assisting him at that time, the ninja world is now a family, and naturally there will be no tragedy like the Senju clan now. How's it going? Do you still think your uncle is right? In the ninja world, the 5 major countries are now at odds with each other, and many small countries are struggling to survive in the cracks. The intensity of the war is even greater than during the Warring States period. The treatment of the elderly and children has not improved at all compared to the Warring States period. The civilians who are not ninjas are even more injured. There are more casualties in every war than ninjas. They are the biggest victims of the ninja village era. And all this is the one country, one village system implemented by your great-grandfather. Quote, Uchiha Nanhi believed that after seeing all this, Tsunade would definitely choose to go and seek confirmation. Later, she would also understand the cause of everything, and naturally she would no longer cling to the hatred between Uchiha and Senju. Therefore, Uchiha Nenga didn't say anything more. On the surface, he was complaining about Senju Hashirama's naivety and fighting for the injustice of the Uchiha clan. In fact, he was guiding Tsunade to understand the limitations of the one country one village system. The idea of unifying the ninja world came up. After hearing Uchiha Minga's words, Tsunade realized that there was someone else next to her, so she immediately put away her emotions and didn't care about Uchiha Minga's sarcasm. This is also true. After 2 ninja wars and wandering in the ninja world for so many years, Tsunade has naturally understood that the original theory of world peace by the great-grandfather does not work. Many times, Tsunade herself had criticized her great-grandfather's whims at that time. What's more, now she also knew that Uchiha Madara had paid as much as his great-grandfather for the establishment of Konoha, but he was still kicked out of the promise he had made long ago. The position of Hokage has become an unpopular marginal figure. It's uncomfortable for anyone to have something like this happen to them. Now that the Uchiha brat has complained about it, he naturally doesn't take it to heart. Therefore, Tsunade did not argue with this. After thinking for a while, she went straight to the core of the problem and asked, "What did that dark guy do on your Uchiha stone monument? Why did Uchiha Madara break up with Grandpa so resolutely?" Uchiha Nanhi was also a little surprised. He didn't expect that Tsunade could not only recover from that sad mood so quickly, but also calmly analyze the intelligence and grasp the key to the problem. Oh, that means that the repulsive powers of Senju and Uchiha can be combined into one to give birth to the legendary creation Eye of the Sage of Six Paths, the Samsara Eye. And a genjutsu that requires gathering all 9-tailed beasts to achieve peace, and the infinite Tsukuyomi that covers the world. I guess that the battle between Uchiha Madara and the first Hokage was for the power of Senju. As for the infinite Tsukuyomi, perhaps it is the ultimate goal of Zetsu. Judging from the available information, Zetsu's purpose should be to rescue the sealed Otsutsuki Kagaya, so that technique may be the key to lifting the seal. Although Uchiha Minami said all this through the memory of his previous life, this reasoning is completely tenable. After all, the current Uchiha Minami also has the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, so he can naturally see Uchiha Madara at that time. See everything. Let people achieve peace through genjutsu. Is Uchiha Madara a fool? He has been completely fooled by Zetsu. The real cause of the 1,000-year chaos in the ninja world is not so much the struggle between Indra and Asura, but more precisely it should be caused by Zetsu's instigation in order to save Kagaya. From this point of view, Uchiha Madara did not die in the Valley of the End back then. Could it be that the Nine Tails rebellion 7 years ago was just what he did to capture the Nine Tails? Then how old he must be. Quote, Uchiha Nanhi interrupted the other party's reasoning that was somewhat divorced from the facts, and directly told the truth without trying to hide the truth. Of course not him. In fact, he should have died during the Third Ninja War. He should have used the secret technique of our Uchiha clan, Izanagi, to prevent the first Hokage from noticing. Now, using his name to cause trouble in the ninja world, it was Obito Uchiha who once caused the Nine Tails Rebellion. He was once Kakashi's teammate and a disciple of the fourth Hokage. He was rescued by Uchiha Madara during the Third Ninja War, and thus became a pawn for Uchiha Madara to realize his plan. Quote, Tsunade had obviously met Uchiha Obito. After all, she had a very good relationship with Kyukina, so she naturally got to know this disciple of Namikaze Minato. But when she heard that during the Nine Tails Rebellion, the culprit responsible for the death of the fourth Hokage and his wife was their disciple, Tsunade was a little unbelievable. How could it be him? I remember that kid was very kind and enthusiastic back then. But in a flash, Tsunade thought of her friend Orochimaru again, and she felt relieved that she didn't treat human life as trivially as she does now. The main purpose of meeting Tsunade this time has not been achieved, and Uchiha Minami did not discuss this issue too much, and said straight to the point. Okay, now that you have basically understood the matter, let's just start talking about future cooperation. What kind of cooperation? Kid, I'm not sure what you said is true yet. Tsunade had obviously put aside her prejudice against the Uchiha clan. Although she was not sure about Uchiha Nenga's suggestion, her tone still softened. That doesn't matter. Now we just need to tell you about our cooperation. After you confirm the truth of the matter, there is no need to waste more time. After all, your time is running out. Quote, Uchiha Nanhi didn't care at all about the other party's rejection. He believed that as long as Tsunade confirmed the authenticity of what he just showed to Slug Sage, she would naturally agree to his cooperation plan in the face of external pressure. What, kid, please tell me clearly, what do you mean my time is running out? Tsunade was already a little dissatisfied with Uchiha Nenga's decision to take care of herself, but now she heard the other party say that she didn't have much time. She immediately angrily asked the reason, with a look like, if you explain the matter clearly, I will beat you up. Uchiha Nanhi smiled slightly, his eyes widening exaggeratedly, with a look of disbelief. Don't you know? How is that possible? After all, you are also the Sannin of the village. You have rescued so many people. You should have a lot of informants in the village, right? After being surprised, Uchiha Nanhi smacked his lips, and when he saw Tsunade looking like he was about to take action, he said again. You really don't know that your teacher Hiruzen Sarutobi is planning to attack you because you have too much appeal and don't follow him in dealing with our Uchiha clan. When Tsunade heard the news, she was shocked and couldn't believe it. How is that possible? I'm his student. Even if his ideas don't agree with his, it's impossible for him to attack me directly. Moreover, Jiraiya has been communicating with him during this period. Isn't Jiraiya still fine now? Quote. Obviously, Tsunade didn't think things would develop to this extent, so she was a little shocked at first, and then became more suspicious. Haha, believe it or not, you also know Jiraiya's character, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is absolutely sure of him. On the contrary, you are the biggest trouble that he wants to integrate the power of the entire Konoha to deal with us Uchiha. Not to mention you have great support in the village, and your character cannot be compromised. Quote. Tsunade knew Sarutobi Hiruzen's character, so she didn't completely believe it, but she didn't completely deny it either. She was prepared to send Shizune out first, and then she would be more vigilant. Uchiha Nenga ignored Tsunade's somewhat stunned and sad look and continued. This is why our Uchiha clan wants to cooperate with you. Let us drive Hiruzen Sarutobi, a man obsessed with power, completely into hell, and then rebuild Konoha, and even unify the ninja world, so that we can better deal with future disasters in the ninja world. After all, we don't want to accompany that ancestor, sleeping in illusion and dreaming. Of course, the position of Hokage needs to be handed over to the Uchiha clan. This was the promise of the village back then, and it is time to fulfill it. Quote. We'll wait until what you said is confirmed to be true. Let me leave now. Tsunade had something on her mind, so she didn't say anything more and directly asked to leave. Everything that should be known to the other party was shown, and everything that should be persuaded and reminded was said. Uchiha Nenga no longer hesitated, the patterns in his eyes turned, and the two of them disappeared from this world in an instant. When the two regained consciousness, they were already on the third practice field. Tsunade looked at the scene suspiciously, turned and left without saying anything else. Uchiha Nanhi shook his tired brain, and when he saw the suspicion on Tsunade's face, he knew the reason. If this illusion had not been cast by Uchiha Minagawa himself, and now he could clearly feel that his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan had stopped working, he would have doubted whether he was still in a dream. After all, before the dream world is really too real. This experiment was very successful. I didn't expect that even a strong person like the Sannin could not resist at all when he was attacked. Even if the illusion was lifted, the other party could not confirm the reality of reality. This kind of illusion that directly touches other people's spiritual consciousness seems to be very promising. Quote. Uchiha Minami looked at the sky and found that the cloud above his head had just floated a little distance away. He immediately understood that time can really be accelerated in dreams. Although you can use the method of controlling the world in the world of divine power, and use it to make up dreams to control others, but this is too energy consuming. It's okay to have a simple life like Baizetsu, but for someone with strong mental power like Tsunade, it's really difficult to control it, otherwise the other party wouldn't be able to find out that he was under a genjutsu in the first place. It will be like a dream, and you will only subconsciously ignore why you are here, and regard everything as the real world. Quote. It seems that we still need to strengthen our mental strength. However, this method of controlling and changing dreams is also an excellent way to exercise our mental strength. Uchiha Nanhi was thinking in his mind, and did not stop at the training ground. He held his head that was a little swollen and sore, and fell asleep when he got home. At this time, Tsunade was in the family, looking through historical records that were previously regarded as fairy tales. As if this was not enough, she also went to the village library to look for records that seemed exaggerated. You must know that when the village was built, In order to enrich the village's heritage, under the organization of the first Hokage, each major family not only contributed some regular ninjutsu, but also gave some of their less important book collections to the village. During this time, Tsunade has been immersed in this information. After reading these records, Tsunade's mind was filled with seemingly impossible things such as the goddess of Uchiha, the creation of the six-path sage, and people living on the moon, making Tsunade more and more convinced of what Uchiha Nenga said. No longer entangled too much, all the answers are in the three holy places, so Tsunade immediately took Shizune to Shigulen. With the confirmation of Slug Sage, Tsunade not only confirmed what Uchiha Nenga said, but also obtained more horrific information. Thus, we learned that the sacred tree and Otsutsuki Kagaya came from the outside, and Otsutsuki Kagaya was a traitor to the Otsutsuki clan. She killed her companions and occupied the sacred tree alone. The other party used humans to make white Zetsu weapons for defense. The arrival of the Otsutsuki clan. At the same time, I also learned that the tailed beasts were obtained by the Sage of Six Paths splitting the 10 tails, and the 10 tails is the sacred tree, which is inextricably linked to Kagaya Otsutsuki, and Kagaya Otsutsuki will definitely take back all the chakra to fight against it. The Otsutsuki clan is bound to come. This information caught Tsunade off guard. She originally thought that what Uchiha Nenga said was that Uchiha Madara planned to use the infinite Tsukuyomi to plunge the ninja world into a false piece of genjutsu, and that there was someone who had lived for thousands of years and had been causing trouble in the ninja world. It's tricky enough as Rain prepares to unleash Otsutsuki Kagaya's Zetsu. Now there is an extraterrestrial Otsutsuki clan. They are fierce men who can physically travel among the stars and use all major living planets as pastures. Who knows how powerful they are in their clan, and what the ninja world should take. What to resist? Thinking of this, Tsunade also became a little panicked, and even agreed with Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Nenga's suggestion to unify the ninja world. Facing such a powerful enemy, instead of continuing to fight against each other, it is better to unite everyone to have a chance of confrontation. But this is also the crux of the problem. Who would believe such a fantasy? Even if everyone is lucky enough to believe it and then unite, how can we make everyone trust each other and develop and progress together without reservation? It seems that in the end we have to use Madara Uchiha's method to conquer all the major ninja villages. At that time, there will naturally be only one voice. Tsunade couldn't think of a better way. If she wanted the major ninja villages to put aside their prejudices, this was the only way to go. Therefore, Tsunade no longer hesitated, arranged for Shizune and reminded her not to return to the village in the near future, then returned to Konoha. After being busy for a long time, plus searching for records and meeting the slug immortal, several days have passed. Tsunade felt so stressed that she had no time to sort herself out and hurriedly went to find Uchiha Minga again. But this was undoubtedly irritating, as Sarutobi Hiruzen already had some sensitive nerves. Originally, Sarutobi Hiruzen was looking for an opportunity to attack this disciple. Of course, he couldn't be so extreme at the beginning. He still wanted to imprison the opponent, and then force the opponent out of Konoha again after everything was settled. After that, he would become Hokage for Sarutobi Asuma, get some support from other families, and everything would be happy. But Tsunade went to see Uchiha Nenga, and the people watching did not dare to get too close, so naturally they had no idea what they talked about, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen a little wary. Since then, Tsunade has become more and more strange. She keeps searching for various historical books in the village and family, as if she is discovering something. In the end, she disappears in Konoha directly with Shizune. This undoubtedly made Sarutobi Hiruzen suspicious. He wondered if the other party had discovered any clues about his attack on the Senju clan. Now he wanted to unite with the Uchiha clan to deal with him as the Hokage, so he took precautions and arranged his little followers first. Good. This had to make Sarutobi Hiruzen think about it. After all, the cause of all these changes was the change that started when she met Uchiha. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately have the intention to kill this disciple. Sure enough, Tsunade came back alone, and then went straight to the Uchiha clan without stopping, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen a little unable to sit still. Anbu was summoned to confirm that Jiraiya hadn't gone out yet because he was peeping too late last night. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately made up his mind to take a lead in attacking Tsunade while Tsunade had just returned and before the Uchiha clan and Jiraiya could react. After making up his mind, Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately summoned his trusted Anbu. For the sake of safety, most of these Anbu were members of the Sarutobi family, and a few were fanatical diehards. After that, he even went into battle personally and ambushed in advance on the only way from the village to the Uchiha clan. Fortunately, I followed Danzo's suggestion and placed the Uchiha clan on the edge of the village. This position is very convenient for taking action at any time. As expected of you, Danzo, I am not as good as you in being far-sighted. Don't worry, I will let the entire Uchiha clan bury you with you. Quote. Sarutobi Hiruzen silently missed his good friend for a while, then saw Tsunade hurriedly walking over in the distance. Although Tsunade was a little anxious, after all, the thing hadn't happened yet, and she was far from the point of running away. The Senju clan was stationed in the center of the village, which was still some distance away from the Uchiha clan on the edge of the village, so she gave it to the monkey. The time for Hiruzen to ambush. Tsunade was thinking about something in her mind, and did not notice the abnormality of the deserted street in front of her, and plunged directly into the ambush circle. Although Tsunade's pace did not change at all, as she was walking, Hiruzen Sarutobi was keenly aware that the sadness on her face was getting stronger and stronger. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed inwardly, silently said sorry, and then directly ordered the attack. The Anbu around him naturally knew Tsunade, a famous medical master, but out of loyalty to the Hokage, he did not hesitate too much. Upon seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, he immediately attacked the figure in the middle with his hidden weapon ninjutsu. Although Tsunade didn't notice anything unusual about this street, when she passed the barrier at the intersection, she still felt the subtle changes due to the medical ninja's extraordinary control over chakra. Being able to mobilize surrounding pedestrians in the village, and being able to know his whereabouts in advance and set up barriers, coupled with the previous reminder from Minami Uchiha in the dream, Tsunade immediately guessed who wanted to deal with her. This was also the reason why Tsunade became more and more sad as she walked. She really couldn't believe that her teacher would really take action against her for his power. Ha, this is your true face as Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Tsunade looked up at the sky, swallowing the last trace of tenderness between master and disciple, lowering her head to face the attacks around her. Her eyes immediately became firm. Stand up. Boom. Tsunade raised her leg and used Paintian kick. A deep pit was instantly blown out of the ground. The scattered gravel and soil blocked most of the ninjutsu and hidden weapons, and her figure fell into the pit, and perfectly avoided the remaining hidden weapons and ninjutsu. Before the firelight completely dissipated, Tsunade appeared in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen with a teleportation technique, raised her fist high, and hit the opponent's face with a strange power technique. Hokage-sama. The ninja next to him shouted, and he also came to Tsunade's side in a flash, raised the kunai in his hand, and stabbed the opponent fiercely, obviously wanting to surround Wei and save Zhao. With a casual elbow strike, Tsunade avoided the kunai and knocked the opponent away, knocking down several ninjas following behind. Then Tsunade looked up directly at the roof next to the street. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was standing there holding the Vajra Wishful Rod. Looking at the original position where the opponent fell to the ground was just a smashed wooden stake, it was obvious that Hiruzen Sarutobi used the substitute technique at that critical moment. Hey, the old man's majesty is still the same as before. How do you want to show your power as Hokage in front of your disciples now? Quote. In response to Tsunade's ridicule, Sarutobi Hiruzen was not angry, and just said calmly. Tsunade, let's go and capture you now. As long as you no longer pursue what happened back then and sever ties with the Uchiha clan, no matter what, I will save your life. I guarantee it in the name of Hokage. What? Tsunade instantly understood what the other party meant and immediately became furious. Sure enough, you were responsible for the disappearance of our Thousand Hands clan back then. Although I had some suspicions before, I was not sure. I didn't expect that. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you are the second grandfather's disciple, my teacher, how did you manage to do this? Quote. Needless to say, it's all for the village. Just like the First Lord, I strictly carried out the First Lord's will. Your Senju clan has produced 2 Hokages, and even I, the 3rd Hokage, came from your sect. Your power in Konoha is too strong. For the stability of the Hokage and the stability of the village, I have to imitate the attitude of the two Hokages towards Uchiha and take action against you, the Senju clan. I believe that teacher and their spirits in heaven will understand me. Quote, I'm asking you now if you are willing to repent. As long as you stay in the place I have prepared for you, I will never cause you any trouble again. The Thousand Hands clan will also be continued in your hands. Please think carefully. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked upright and expressed his magnanimity in leaving Tsunade as an incense for the Senju clan. Obviously, he himself believed this statement. The so-called kindness turned into hatred as nothing more than this. Tsunade also laughed angrily at Sarutobi Hiruzen's natural expression. Haha, you mean to let the Senju clan go to the battlefield and the experimental platform just for the sake of the village and to practice the will of fire? That's ridiculous. Yes. If the next Hokage cleans up your Sarutobi clan like you did, you wouldn't have any complaints. Sarutobi Hiruzen was not angry at all and still said matter-of-factly. Of course, as long as it's for the village, even if the Sarutobi clan stands in front of them, the next Hokage can send them to the battlefield. However, you can rest assured on this, I will not let this happen again. Asuma is the 5th Hokage I am looking for the village. Even the 6th, 7th, and 8th Hokage can all be born in my Sarutobi clan, so that the village will never have to clean up any clan. Moreover, during my tenure as Hokage, through marriages with other families, I have developed the Sarutobi family into the most powerful and promising family in the entire Konoha. So you don't have to worry about encountering someone like your Senju clan who has no successors and has no choice but to let me, an outsider, serve as Hokage. Quote, Sarutobi Hiruzen's absurd reasoning was such that Tsunade didn't know where to refute it, and the Anbu around him also cast fanatical looks at him, the Hokage. Tsunade couldn't bear it anymore, and just when she was about to use violence to speak. Pa, 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 the sound of applause suddenly sounded in the originally quiet barrier. Sarutobi Hiruzen and the other ninjas were shocked. They raised their heads and looked around, and found that the surrounding houses were already full of ninjas. Among them were many clan leaders from major families. Even Jiraiya, who was supposed to be at home, was standing not far away at this time, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, the teacher and Hokage, with a complicated expression. And the one who clapped his hands and applauded was the Uchiha clan leader, Uchiha Fugaku. So many people suddenly appeared around that Sarutobi Hiruzen did not react for a moment. In fact, when Hiruzen Sarutobi summoned the Anbu and prepared to take action against Tsunade, Uchiha Minami's sport jutsu spread all over the village, and this information came. Uchiha Nenga did not waste any time, and immediately found Uchiha Fugaku and told him about the incident. Then the two quickly followed the previously discussed plan and began to gather major families and high-status ninjas. They had expected this to happen when they were spreading public opinion at that time, but the plan could not keep up with the changes. They originally thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen would be under pressure from the village's public opinion and eager to destroy the Uchiha clan. Tsunade took action. He never expected that the other party would be so impatient. Just because of Tsunade's action to check the authenticity of what Uchiha Minga said, Sarutobi Hiruzen was suspicious and prepared to take action. However, this did not prevent them from continuing to execute the plan, and went to notify the major families and those prestigious ninjas, preparing to catch Sarutobi Hiruzen on the spot for his crime of besieging Tsunade. With Tsunade's influence in the village, I believe that when everyone saw Sarutobi Hiruzen taking action against her, no matter how much the other party argued, they would no longer be able to get the support of the major families and ninjas. At this time, as the Uchiha clan who led them to discover the truth and the security department recognized by the 4 Hokages of the village, they were fully qualified to stand up and take charge of the overall situation. At that time, in the name of the Uchiha security department, all the black information about Sarutobi Hiruzen and his senior officials will be exposed, which will be enough to make Sarutobi Hiruzen step down and ruin his reputation. Sarutobi Hiruzen's action this time was a temporary decision. In order to avoid the sight of others and to catch Tsunade during the short period of time when he was with the Uchiha clan, the arrangement was very hasty. This also gave the Uchiha clan a situation where the other party did not notice. The major families and more prestigious ninjas were notified easily. Originally, Sarutobi and Hiruzen were surrounded by a barrier that allowed entry and exit, so it was easy to find someone entering the scene. However, in order to give himself a chance to summon the monkey demon, Hiruzen Sarutobi chose not to show up just now with Tsunade's sudden attack. This also made the Anbu around him focus all their attention on him as the Hokage. Safety, thereby neglecting the precautions from the outside world. And Uchiha Nenga took advantage of the opportunity when the spore technique was transmitted, and quietly attacked and knocked down the Anbu responsible for the barrier, allowing a group of ninjas to quietly appear around and hear the ape with his own ears. Flying Rizen's outrageous lies. Of course, some of these people wanted to warn Hiruzen Sarutobi at first, but with the warning of an Uchiha member next to each person, there was no chance. In addition, these ninjas have higher status and have their own thoughts. They cannot be regarded as absolutely obeying Sarutobi Hiruzen. After knowing the breaking news that Sarutobi Hiruzen actually wanted to take action against Tsunade, they naturally felt a little heavy. I thought to figure out what happened. Most people have no intention of actively exposing it. Only then did things happen after everyone heard about Hiruzen Sarutobi's ambition. Lord Hokage, what a great ambition. He keeps saying that our Uchiha clan is very ambitious and wants to covet the village political power and bring Konoha under the rule of Uchiha. Now it seems that the news released by you senior officials is exactly what your Sarutobi clan is doing. I admire him for silently building the Sarutobi clan into the #1 hidden family in Konoha, and many of them stole the excellent blood of other families, right? As expected of Lord Hokage. Quote, after Uchiha Fugaku obtained the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, his strength brought confidence. Without the previous restraints, he had completely let himself go. He changed his previous serious and cautious attitude. When he faced Sarutobi Hiruzen again, he felt in his heart I also gained confidence and my language became sharper. Everyone around who heard Uchiha Fugaku's words also looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen on the roof with incomprehensible expressions, with 10,000 grass and mud horses galloping past in their hearts. Feelings. So many of us Konoha people have fought hard and fought for peace without fear of sacrifice. All of it has enriched you, the Sarutobi clan. What's even more annoying is that the other party actually thinks that all this is for Konoha. To turn Konoha into his family's private property. Originally, I only thought that the other party was greedy for the Hokage's power, so he occupied the position of Hokage for a long time. Now it seems that the other party is secretly playing a big game, and all Konoha ninjas have become his pawns. This undoubtedly made everyone feel angry, feeling unworthy for those relatives and friends who had sacrificed their lives, and their dissatisfaction with Hiruzen Sarutobi had reached its peak. This arrangement of Sarutobi Hiruzen also surprised Uchiha Minagawa. Originally, he thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen was just for power. Later, he paved the way for Sarutobi Asuma, his girlfriend and Yuhi Kurenai, leading Inuzuka Butterfly and Hyuga Aburame Inuzuka's heirs, and they were just trying to see if their sons could ascend to the position of Hokage. However, I never expected that Hiruzen Sarutobi was setting up a chess game in which the public world changed to the family world, which was quite similar to the style of the Shah dynasty in his previous life. Sarutobi Hiruzen saw that everyone was looking at him, and he knew that they had probably heard what he just said. Things had already reached this point, and any plan to make a fortune secretly had failed. But Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't panic at all. In his heart, all this was indeed for Konoha. He had a clear conscience. Now the Sarutobi clan has become the most powerful force in Konoha. There is no need to care about the emotions of other families. Fortunately, everyone is here now to tell everything clearly. I believe everyone will understand their painstaking efforts for Konoha and make a wise choice. When he was hesitating and didn't know where to start, Uchiha Fugaku happened to speak at this time. Without any hesitation, starting from you, the Uchiha clan, he retorted directly with a righteous face. Asshole, you Uchiha clan are nothing. Since the founding of Konoha, you Uchiha clan have never been able to become Hokage. But you have no self-awareness at all. While you are constantly coveting power, various uncontrollable geniuses continue to appear, causing instability in the rule of the village. Do you think you, the Uchiha clan, deserve to die? Quote. Everyone was in an uproar, with incredible looks in their eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not give them a chance to interrupt his speech, and continued to explain the way out that he had painstakingly thought out for the development of Konoha. On the other hand, my Sarutobi clan, as the Hokage clan, can naturally develop and prosper with peace of mind, and it will not affect my rule as the Hokage in any way. In the same way, no matter how powerful my Sarutobi clan is, it will not threaten the stability of the village. And in my family, I have cultivated outstanding juniors for the village who can inherit the position of Hokage. This will also prevent Konoha from being caught in the turmoil of the Hokage change in the future. This is the great contribution that I, the Sarutobi clan, have made to the village. All of this is for the village, but you, the Uchiha clan, are doing it to gain power, completely out of selfish motives. I, Hiruzen Sarutobi, can say with no shame that my whole life has been dedicated to a stronger Konoha. Quote. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen's narcissistic look, everyone including Uchiha Minagawa looked shocked. They didn't expect that the other party would be so shameless. What's even more speechless was that he was so shameless. It's a fallacy and forms a perfect logical closed loop. It's okay, our Sarutobi clan is so great. An Anbu from the Sarutobi clan next to Sarutobi Hiruzen took off the mask on his face and shouted with enthusiasm and pride. Seeing this, other Anbu also followed suit. Even some ninjas from Uchiha Minami who were not from the family acted strangely and were infected by the warm-blooded atmosphere. They raised their hands and cheered. Metkai, who was about to cheer too, was held down by Kakashi and patiently said something to him in a low voice. Holy shit, is this okay? Is this the style of painting that the two-dimensional world should have? As long as you give a decent reason, you can always convince some passionate and brainless people. Uchiha Nenga was speechless. The situation was not good now. Seeing Uchiha Fugaku still standing there stupidly, a trace of helplessness flashed across his face, so he had to pull the other party and signal the other party to quickly break this weird atmosphere. Uchiha Fugaku immediately recovered from the shameless shock brought to him by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and retorted loudly. Then what are you doing now? Tsunade is your disciple, the granddaughter of the First Lord and the Second Lord, one of the three ninjas of Konoha, and the savior of many Konoha ninjas. You can't possibly say that she will betray the village, right? We all heard just now that you were afraid that Tsunade would know the reason for the demise of the Senju clan, so you were ready to drive her away and kill her. Quote. A trace of disdain appeared on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. Humph, I just said that all this is for the stability of the village. And you, the Uchiha clan, are currently the most unstable factor in the village. If she wants to join forces with you, the Uchiha clan, she will become the unstable factor in the village. That's why I want to ground her. After all, she is still my disciple, the last bloodline of the two Hokages. Only you, the Uchiha clan, the source of instability in the village, can I want to kill them all. Quote. Before he could hear Uchiha Fugaku's furious refutation of the other party's slander against the Uchiha clan, Tsunade, who had recovered from the sidelines, was the first to shout angrily. Old guy, that's enough for you. You keep saying it's for Konoha. In the final analysis, it's for yourself and your family. What benefits do others get? Look at Konoha now. There are several capable masters. Not to mention intimidating other ninja villages, you betrayed the interests of the village for your own selfishness and pushed Hyuga Hazashi out to quell the chaos in Kumogakure village. It's not Konoha that's getting stronger, it's just you, the Sarutobi clan, who's getting stronger. You got these powerful assets by persecuting your companions in the village. Ever since you dealt with the Senju clan, allowed Danzo to conduct human experiments, and dealt with Senior White Fang, how dare you say it was for Konoha? We Konoha have really suffered 8 lifetimes of bad luck before we met you who did it for Konoha. The shadow of Naruto. Quote. Tsunade was furious, but Sarutobi Hiruzen was even more furious, and he directly shouted angrily. Asshole, they all died for Konoha and deserved their death. You are insulting their sacrifice. Sure enough, you have joined the Uchiha clan. Today, you and the Uchiha clan must be completely killed here to rid the village of you, the unsettling factors. Quote. Hearing this, Kakashi couldn't bear it. What does it mean that his father died a worthy death? Why don't you die a worthy death? Just when he was about to take action, he thought of the Uchiha clan's plan, which would make this old guy look good sooner or later, so he didn't act rashly and waited for other people's reactions. As expected, there will always be people who get angry because of the very hurtful and insulting remarks made by Hiruzen Sarutobi, and the first to die is Hinata Hazashi, the head of the Hyuga clan who lost his twin brother. HMPH, Sarutobi Hiruzen, even if you are eloquent, you can't wash away the dirty things you have done. The Hyuga clan, are obviously the victims, but in order to prevent your Sarutobi clan from going to the battlefield, you forced my brother to death, and in the end even the body was taken away by Kumogakure for humiliation. How dare you call yourself Hokage? Now that you have personally admitted those things, we, the Hyuga clan, have no scruples. We, the Hyuga clan, hereby declare that from now on, we will no longer recognize your identity as the third Hokage. Quote. When Uchiha Nenga saw this, he looked excited. He didn't expect that the first one to stand up was Hinata Hinashi, who had such an angry side. No longer hesitating, he immediately glanced at Uchiha Fugaku. Uchiha Fugaku understood and followed Hinata and Hinashi, and announced loudly. Haha, who doesn't have a Hokage dream? The Uchiha clan, also announce here that we will not recognize your identity as the third Hokage of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Moreover, as the security department recognized by all previous Hokages of the village, we also have the right to arrest and try you. Now I am officially warning you, Sarutobi Hiruzen, because of your many crimes, I am arresting you. I hope you will not resist. You will be responsible for all losses caused to you. Quote. With the announcement of the Uchiha clan and the Hyuga clan, everyone who witnessed the incident was a little dumbfounded. Some small families that had complained about the third Hokage also followed suit and immediately stood up and fought with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Clear boundaries. Seeing such a sudden turn of events, the major families who originally wanted to wait and see no longer hesitated, and immediately announced that they did not agree with Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage identity. Kakashi even pulled Metkai to the front of the crowd and loudly scolded Hiruzen Sarutobi for not being a human being. Even the three Ino Shikacho families, who were very close to the Sarutobi clan, under the leadership of Nara Shikaku, spoke out against Sarutobi Hiruzen's position as Hokage. This is also inevitable, although what Sarutobi Hiruzen did is high-sounding, as Uchiha Fugaku said, who doesn't have the dream of being Hokage. Everyone also understood Sarutobi Hiruzen's ambition to turn Konoha into the private property of the Sarutobi clan. Coupled with his persecution of other families and ninjas during his tenure, now there are two major families, the Uchiha clan and the Hyuga clan, taking the lead. The general trend has been established, naturally they are actively trying to push back the wall. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also stunned for a moment. Why were everyone against him at once? Could it be that they couldn't see the power of their Sarutobi clan, and they weren't worried at all about the future of Konoha without the Sarutobi clan? As everyone knows, everyone is understanding. Not to mention that they are dissatisfied with him as the Hokage. In terms of strength, you, the top Hokage, lost to the Uchiha clan in the last game. And the Uchiha clan has 3 pairs of Mangekyo Sharingan. Even if you, the Sarutobi clan, are included, they will be killed indiscriminately. The legend of Uchiha Madara lies there. What's more, now that Tsunade and Hinata have joined the Uchiha side, among the juniors that Konoha can use, Kakashi, as the leader, has also turned against him. What else can you, Sarutobi Hiruzen, do to win? Seeing such an exciting scene, Jiraiya also vaguely understood the fate of his teacher. He looked a little depressed and silently turned around and left the scene. How presumptuous! I am the Hokage, do you all want to rebel against the village? Hiruzen Sarutobi was also a little flustered. Not to mention the Uchiha clan, it was enough for him, but now with so many families and ninjas, they all began to oppose him. The Sarutobi clan and his die-hard loyalists alone could not reverse the situation. Hiruzen Sarutobi scolded him for rebelling against the village, but he still suppressed some civilian ninjas who had no family support. They were already lonely and loved the village. In addition, Hiruzen Sarutobi had been the Hokage for many years, and he still accumulated a lot of love in their hearts. Power. Therefore, even to this point, they still dare not make mistakes and become a little hesitant. Seeing that there were still people who were frightened by him, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a little calmer. He just wanted to delay for a while. He believed that such a large-scale gathering would definitely alarm his Sarutobi clan. When the 3,000 ninjas of the Sarutobi clan come over, this crisis will naturally be eliminated under the threat of other ninja villages, and he will also have the opportunity to make long-term plans. However, for such an obvious flaw, Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Nenga naturally took it into consideration. The two looked at each other, nodded to each other to confirm, and immediately opened their respective Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and one of them rushed towards Sarutobi Hiruzen, one person rushed towards the Anbu. The one who rushed towards Sarutobi Hiruzen was Uchiha Minagawa. Uchiha Fugaku knew that his strength was not as good as his opponent. When the Sarutobi clan could support him at any time, he would naturally choose a safer approach and go to stop those Anbu. Everyone screamed in surprise when they saw the Uchiha family members taking action as soon as they asked, but no one came forward to help. Although they were all summoned by the Uchiha clan under the pretext of Hokage-sama is in danger, given the current situation, there is no one who is ignorant and stands up to die for Sarutobi Hiruzen, who has been despised by everyone. As for the Uchiha side, although all major families have acquiesced in the leadership of the Uchiha clan, they also want to see how powerful the legendary eyes of Uchiha are in actual combat. In addition, this kind of matter still needs to be handled by the Uchiha Security Department, which is more justified, so they all tacitly agreed not to take action. The surrounding Uchiha clan members saw that their clan leader and Uchiha Nenga had taken action, and without any hesitation, they immediately joined in to deal with the Anbu guarding Sarutobi Hiruzen. Uchiha Minagawa took the lead, activating the ability to incarnate the divine power, and directly ignored the Anbu who had reacted and blocked the way. As a result, everyone watching the battle saw that Uchiha Minagawa's figure was like a phantom, passing through each Anbu without stopping at all, and directly arrived in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. For a time, both the major family ninjas and civilian ninjas were shocked by the hand shown by Uchiha Nenga. However, what shocked them even more was what was behind. I saw that when Uchiha Nenga came to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that his kind of time and space pupil technique was difficult, and immediately prepared to jump away, and the Vajra Rui rod in his hand also moved towards Uchiha. Bonon attacks. However, Uchiha Nenga ignored it and continued to move forward. The Vajra Rui rod passed directly through his body just like the opponent had passed through those Anbu ninjas before. Uchiha Minagawa continued to speed up and approach. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt something was wrong, his heart became cruel, and he no longer cared about having his own Anbu around. 4 clones were immediately separated, and the 5 figures were forming seals as they accelerated and flew back. 5 escapes Dalian bullet technique. Boom! A shocking explosion immediately occurred at the location of Uchiha Nanhi, and the explosion even affected the Uchiha tribesmen fighting on the outside. And those Anbu who had been loyally guarding Sarutobi Hiruzen suffered even more disaster at this time, and all the members inside were killed by this ninjutsu. But Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't show any distress on his face, and he still looked at the center of the explosion with a solemn expression. At this moment, a black shadow suddenly jumped out of the flames of the explosion. It was very fast and immediately came to Sarutobi Hiruzen. It stretched its arms forward and directly grabbed his arm. Obviously, the black shadow that appeared was Uchiha Minga. At this time, Uchiha Minga had a successful look on his face, and the space around the two people also fluctuated. Got you. HMPH. I'm the one. Just when Uchiha Nenga was speaking proudly, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly rushed out from the roof below him one after another, and the Vajra Rui stick in his hand hit them directly without mercy. Obviously, with Sarutobi Hiruzen's combat experience, he had seen through Uchiha Nenga's Kamui eye technique, and when using the 5 escape Grand Continent, he used the light of the explosion to hide his own body. Just waiting for the moment when Uchiha Nenga needed to materialize, he used mental calculations and unintentional calculations to capture him in one fell swoop. At this moment, Uchiha Minagawa was not to be outdone. At this critical moment, he grabbed the hand of Sarutobi Hiruzen's clone and pulled it back directly, pulling the opponent into the attack range of the opponent's body. At the same time, he turned his head and spat out the weapon that had been hidden for a long time. 1,000 books in the mouth. When Sarutobi Hiruzen saw this, he immediately realized that something was wrong, but now he was just like Uchiha Minami, with no time to change his moves. Boom! Sarutobi Hiruzen's attack directly destroyed Uchiha Nenga and his clone. When Uchiha Minami's Senbon shot came, Sarutobi Hiruzen only had time to move his body slightly to avoid the direct shot to the heart. In the end, Senbon still pierced his shoulder. Just when Senbon hit the shoulder and confirmed that it was the original body, another Uchiha Minagawa immediately appeared behind Sarutobi Hiruzen and placed a palm on him. Then, With a burst of distortion in the space, Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately disappeared into the vortex. HMPH, if I weren't afraid of you using the ape demon to resist, I would have killed you with the long-range divine power. He promises to resurrect the rope tree on the condition of learning strange power techniques, uses strange power and Metkai's skills to break up ninjutsu, completes the basic fighting style, visits other families in an honest manner, marries Hinata Hina and Uchiha Nenga is engaged to Hinata Hina. Tien, contact Hinata and led her to practice together in the world of Kamui. Soon, Uchiha Fugaku and a group of Uchiha family members also cleaned up the surrounding Anbu, and all those who resisted fiercely were killed on the spot. On the contrary, those Anbu who came from the Sarutobi clan saw that Sarutobi Hiruzen was captured and so many ninjas and families were not on their side. The situation was over and they sincerely chose to surrender. Everyone watching the battle was very surprised that the Uchiha clan had taken down these Anbu so quickly, especially Uchiha Nenga's unpreventable time and space ninjutsu. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Hokage, could defeat them in 2 or 3 moves. Got it. This was also done deliberately by Uchiha Nenga, who wanted to push the Uchiha clan to the position of Hokage. Although the Uchiha clan has improved somewhat now, it still does not have a very good reputation. It is not an easy task in the first place. Only by showing sufficient strength on the basis of this improved reputation can the major families and ninjas really be convinced of the Uchiha clan as Hokage. In the future rule, there will be no double-handedness and unyielding work. Things happen. Therefore, Uchiha Minagawa followed Uchiha Obito's approach and directly used the invulnerable Kamui world to absorb the enemy's characteristics and suck Sarutobi Hiruzen into it first. Without supplies, no matter how powerful Sarutobi Hiruzen is, he will be captured in the end, not to mention that Uchiha Minagawa still has absolute control over the world of Kamui. Now, although Uchiha Nenga looks calm on the surface, and looks very relaxed in dealing with the opponent, he is actually consuming chakra to attack Sarutobi Hiruzen who has entered the world of Kamui. Thunder and lightning flames appeared at the location of Sarutobi Hiruzen from time to time, keeping him in a desperate situation. Moreover, this kind of attack consumes very little of Uchiha Nenga. After all, for him who controls the entire Kamui world, he can completely grasp the location of the opponent's body, and there is no possibility that the opponent will use a clone to gain recovery time. In addition, ninjas do not have strong defensive capabilities, so only a small attack is needed to consume Sarutobi Hiruzen. But Uchiha Nenga's relaxed performance made everyone watching the battle have to change their attitude towards the Uchiha clan. Is that the ability of the Mangekyo Sharingan? That ability to completely penetrate attacks is simply innately invincible. It's really scary. Even the Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken down so quickly. How much easier would it have been for us? Furthermore, the Uchiha clan has more than just this pair of Mangekyo Sharingan. Legend has it that the Mangekyo Sharingan also has an ability called the Power of God. It is an ability comparable to the wood release of the first generation. I don't know. How terrible. It seems that the Uchiha clan has really risen, and these guys are willing to do anything. You must not offend them, you must make friends with them. Quote. After some whispers, everyone was thinking. It seemed that Konoha was going to change in the future. They must make good friends with the Uchiha clan, and their eyes looked at them with a hint of kindness and awe. Seeing everyone's expressions, Uchiha Nanhi and Uchiha Fugaku looked at each other and smiled tacitly. At this moment, both Metkai and Kakashi came to Uchiha Minami, and Metkai said to Uchiha Minami with a passionate face. Wow, Nenga-kun, I didn't expect that when you exploded with all your strength, you were so powerful. Even the third Hokage was defeated by you. Do you want to have another youth duel with me and let me feel your full strength? Quote. Seeing the other party on this occasion, the first thing he did not ask about Sarutobi Hiruzen's whereabouts was to think about a duel with him. Uchiha Nenga was also amazed at the other party's simplicity in cultivation, perhaps because of this simplicity of absolute loyalty to cultivation, which probably created the name of the future Emperor Kai. Haha, okay, Senior Kai, I hope you won't be merciful when the time comes. However, I still have many things to deal with now. When I have time, I will definitely accompany you. Quote. When Metkai heard Uchiha Nenga's refusal, he did not look disappointed at all. Instead, He nodded in agreement with a serious look on his face. Kakashi next to him couldn't stand it any longer. Now was not the time to discuss this at all. He pulled Metkai and told him to pay attention to the situation, and then asked. I didn't expect you to actually defeat Sarutobi Hiruzen, even I have to marvel at your genius. But now everyone is waiting for a result. If you have subdued him, you should release him first. Quote. Uchiha Nenga did not respond immediately, but closed his eyes and felt it. Then he looked below and saw that Tsunade and Uchiha Fugaku had completed the custody of those who surrendered to the Anbu, so he smiled at the card next to him. Cassie said. Wait a minute, the whole village must be summoned for a public trial to be worthy of his status as Hokage. What's more, the Sarutobi clan is coming soon. Quote. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone around him felt that a large number of ninjas were coming from a distance. Seeing this, Uchiha Fugaku immediately understood the identity of the visitor, and without any hesitation, he took the lead and came to the front of the crowd. On the other hand, Tsunade, who should have stepped forward to take charge of the affairs now, said nothing and stood behind the crowd with a depressed expression. Obviously, the other party had not yet recovered from her teacher's ruthless expression. After a while, a large group of ninjas appeared on the street corner not far away. The leaders were Mito Kadoyan and Kaharu. The two of them were very anxious at this time. When Hiruzen Sarutobi came to ambush Tsunade, in order to prevent the news from leaking and having a bad impact on him as the Hokage, he did not inform these two people. Therefore, when these two people learned that Sarutobi Hiruzen was fighting with others not far from the Uchiha station, they immediately thought that the Uchiha clan had taken action against the Hokage. Therefore, the two of them did not dare to neglect, and immediately prepared to notify the major families and prepared to unite the whole village of ninjas to rescue the Hokage while taking the opportunity to take down the Uchiha clan in one fell swoop. But what caught them off guard was that the ninjas who went to inform the major families reported that most of the prominent ninjas in the village had been invited by the Uchiha clan to the place where the battle was taking place. The two immediately realized that things were probably out of control. When they didn't summon many ninjas, they had to bring ninjas from their respective families. In addition, the Sarutobi clan learned that their clan leader and Hokage was in danger and came to support them. Come together to the place of battle. From a distance, Kaharu and Mito Kadeni saw the leader, Uchiha Fugaku, and most of the ninjas in the village. Bold, Uchiha Fugaku, do you want to rebel against the village? Hand over the third Hokage quickly. If there is any damage to the Hokage, your Uchiha clan will be the sinner of the entire Konoha. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.